indeed, Kayal and Company, right here on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. We are always live on the free Odyssey app and, of course, streaming live for your video viewing pleasure over on YouTube. As we head until 10 o'clock this morning, 855-839-1210, the phone number on social media at 1210 WPHT. I am at Nick Kayal, Kayal. Dawn Stenzelin with the news. Greg Stocker, the chairman of the board. Phil Almquist, Jimmy Kelly, our associate producers. Loaded show today. So many good stories to get into. Fired up, ready to go. Dawn Stenzelin, how are you?
Good morning. Ready for 80 degrees?
I've heard about that.
Woohoo!
All these golf texts coming in. Hey, what are you doing Saturday? Unfortunately, it's dance season, so I'll be sitting this one out. But I'll be with you there in spirit.
Nick must dance.
Dad, rogue dad.
Don't make me dance. Don't make me dance.
You thought Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze and the Chippendales bit was bad? You ain't seen nothing yet. Hello, Gregory.
Hey, buddy. How are you? Good morning. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Well,
I'm better than Pete Hegseth is these days.
by the way, the original Odyssey show on YouTube. So we're the OG. Okay?
That's right.
OG.
Yeah.
Double OG.
Yeah, the original show.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are claiming victory and claiming, this new founded technology. Remember, we were here before YouTube was cool.
Are you leaking revelations
No, I'm not.
from
I'm not
brand
doing
manager
anything.
meetings?
I'm not doing anything.
Just try to do that on the Signal app
Just-
and leave it off the air.
Just
okay?
trying to, keep one foot in front of the other and making sure that my contributions go known.
No, there you go.
Get known.
Get
Are known.
Stay known.
None.
There you go. Beautiful opening day in baseball as well. We've got a lot of good things to get to on the show. A big take from the fallout, the reaction, the commentary of defunding, not the police, but NPR and PBS.
Yeah.
We'll break that down in the big take this morning. I'm going to come to you first after the big take.
I like all of this. I've been a proponent from this from day one. I just don't like the angle that they're going at it from.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
All right.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's not 1934 anymore, and we don't need, the good and righteous airwaves. The airwaves, no. We all compete against podcasting, against everything else. These networks should not be federally funded. Right. The end of story.
It's not 1934 anymore. It's also not 1937 anymore. Where do you hear the battle going on behind the scenes that's spilled out publicly on social media with the woke Snow White and a Nepo baby producer that has a Disney daddy?
Ruh-roh.
Yep, not a good look. Trump, 25% auto tariffs, and the Signal app saga continues. Cut sheet coming up 7:45. But before all of that, let's get to the news. Round number one at 6:04. The great Dawn Stenzelin.
And good morning. It's a blustery morning in the 20s in the burbs, about 36 degrees right now. But we'll tell you when the big warm-up begins, so hang on for that one. We are sponsored this morning in our first edition of Kayal and Company News Live by Natural Lawn of America. So in the news this morning, we have a grieving family speaking out as Philadelphia police search for the suspects who killed this innocent teenager on a SEPTA bus. It happened over the weekend. There's now a $20,000 reward being offered for information leading to an arrest and conviction. So the victim, identified as Zakir Whitfield, shot while on that bus near 40th Street and Girard Ave in West Philadelphia, happened Saturday afternoon. He was a student at Upper Darby High School. So Philadelphia police say he was just sitting in the back of the SEPTA bus. 4 underage suspects boarded, and there was some kind of a scuffle. We don't know exactly if they were trying to rob people or this victim in particular. The bus stops at 40th and Girard. So the one of the 4 gets off the bus at that point, turns and fires his weapon that he fires his gun, killing Whitfield. Police have now identified the suspect, underage 17-year-old Zyke Davis, releasing his photograph, putting it everywhere. Again, $20,000 reward being offered for information leading to the arrest and conviction. And in this case, searching for that suspect, 17-year-old Zyke Davis, considered armed and dangerous.
I'm starting to think that maybe humans on public transportation are just not compatible. Hey, whether it's on a flight, whether it's on a SEPTA bus, a school bus, a subway station, a train, it's just constant riffraff fighting with each other. It's awful.
Yeah,
Thank God I have my own vehicle.
You've tapped into something there, Nick, that I think is very interesting. I don't think we're meant to live together.
No, dogs have it better.
Yeah.
They're the greater species.
I do think there's too many of us. I think we're too close to one another, and I think
I think we need to permanently install social distancing. Let's create and concoct another pandemic and kill more people. It's just too many people out there.
Oh, God.
It's just enough. We're overpopulated. Everybody's angry. Everybody's got mental health issues. Just go away.
Oh, my God. Well, you're Mr. Half Glass Full this morning.
I don't even know if I want to golf with humans anymore.
You're the one who reports these horrific news stories in the morning.
It's not Dawn's fault. It's the scum that can't get along with each other.
Should I tell you what you want to hear?
Yes.
I mean, that's basically what talk radio has become anyway. So
yeah. Just reinforce my beliefs and let's move along.
You said something that I don't agree with, and therefore I'm never listening again.
Honestly,
okay, Chip.
Honestly,
okay.
folks, if you don't have a vehicle by now, save up. I get it. Not everybody has their own car. Just do whatever you got to do. Even if you've got to get a $500 car that barely starts, just avoid this mess.
Oh, God. Well, we have other news this morning, and this is the story of, there's a lot more, but this is the story of a local council person, a local lawmaker who needs your help. Why? Because this Philadelphia City Councilwoman, she hopes you can help. She hopes whoever took her dog after it escaped from her yard will return her dog. Their family's devastated.
Oh,
my
boy.
God.
Oh, boy.
Every time we tread down these people's pets alley, we all get in trouble. So just return the dog.
I don't want any Twitter feeds dedicated to deer or baby or Bambi tweeting me. Well, look, here's where I do have some faith in humanity. Remember the story Dawn reported months ago about Keely Ringo's mom or family member that lost the dog and ultimately it was returned. Stalker, you were wrong. You thought it was turned into pit bull meat. And the dog was safely eventually
an optimistic
returned.
group.
Thank God. Thank God.
So Philadelphia police say that Councilwoman Kendra Brooks actually reported that she let her doggie out in the yard and believed he'd come back in the house, realized he had escaped through the fence, because that dog is always, if there's any little part of the fence that they can escape through. This is a little light brown miniature poodle, so it's a little doggie named Buzz. I don't know if Buzz is maybe Buzz Lightyear, Toy Story maybe, but 5 years old, and they love Buzz. And so he escaped near 15th and Wingahoking in the Logan section of Philadelphia. So apparently there might be somebody saw that a man found the dog and took the dog, pulled over in his silver Altima and took the dog. Now, she claims the dog is chipped. They can't find the dog. We don't know what's going on. There are missing posters of Buzz all over the neighborhood.
That's a great dog. Great dog name, by the way.
Yes.
Buzz.
Oh, Buzz.
I like Buzz.
Not for a little dog like that. Like Buzz needs to be a sturdy, hefty dog. Yeah. Not necessarily a Rottweiler, but a Chihuahua or whatever is not Buzz.
Okay.
That's not a Buzz.
So the baseline is like a Labrador.
Yeah.
Like a bulldog.
Yes.
Yeah.
A bulldog is a perfect Buzz name. Yes.
What's your name?
Absolutely.
Oh, my name's Buddy. My name's Buzz.
Yeah, I think Buzz and Buddy are going to be buddies in the next lifetime.
Yeah.
Well, we have Democrats, a big story making national news here in Pennsylvania. So we told you about in the House, in the legislature here, the Democrats won in that special election by 1 point. And we also reported yesterday something going on in Lancaster County, very close race. Well, it's official. Democrats claiming victory in a Lancaster County state Senate district in Pennsylvania, where President Trump won, by the way, by at least 15 percentage points last November.
Wow.
So the statistic that they're giving out, and this is making national news, I think, because it's basically Democrats saying, so you're saying there's a chance. It's
Well, no,
giving
it's-
hope to Democrats.
It's the first election since the last election, right? I mean, that's why people are
Yeah.
not because it's a Democrat win, but because it's literally the first election
in
since
Pennsylvania.
since
So
November. Yeah.
So what do you think? Hangover effect? Is it the fact that it's not Trump on the ballot? I hope Republicans don't get complacent because we've seen voter turnout. It's not the same when Trump's not on the ticket, right?
Well, and I'd asked Linda Kearns about this yesterday, but it was before they officially called it. She said, once again, sound familiar, low voter turnout for Republicans.
Yep.
So we'll see. The win was only by 500 votes. Associated Press calling the race yesterday afternoon for the Democrat candidate. This is James Malone. Like I say, won by not even 500 votes. And so National Democrats saying that this is a very hopeful sign, and Republicans suggesting this was the result of a weak candidate and ongoing struggle just motivating GOP voters to turn out in off-year elections.
I just said in the big take yesterday, do not revert to your laissez-faire approach.
I
literally said that verbatim yesterday.
I've said this for a while, and I'm going to stand by it. If Trump's not on the ballot, I don't know if there's this huge Republican majority that everybody thinks there is.
Could be true.
Excuse me.
Could be true.
You could put me on the ballot.
Sean Ferris has been tweeting about this a ton. Don't take your summer off. Don't this whole thing, right? If you just think you're going to show up on election day with your hat on and I'm here to take advantage of my liberties and rights, you're going to lose.
New Jersey is going to be really the next big test, right?
Jersey
That's
and
right.
June 10th or June 11th, I think, is the
Jersey and Virginia are both the two gubernatorial races this year. I think it's specifically in Virginia, the lieutenant governor is the candidate underneath Youngkin. What's her name? Winsome Sears.
Yes.
She's got like 5 names.
She's African American,
Yeah.
military, Second Amendment. Is that who you mean?
Yep. I just
So
forget her full name.
we got that going on.
Yeah, she's got a bunch of hyphens and all sorts of stuff.
So, looking at the I'll headline this. I can't. In the big take, sometimes you cover a bunch of things, but in this one, President Trump announcing yesterday the plans to put 25% tariffs on all imported cars. So we got that going on.
I actually have a theory as to why they made a big deal of that as far as this administration in the White House. We'll get to that at the bottom of the hour. I think there's a little intent behind being so emphatic about it. It's not like it was breaking news yesterday because, remember, these were all going to go into effect on April 2nd anyway. But the fact that it was put out there from a messaging standpoint, I have a theory as to why.
And perhaps because of the Hyundai announcement and maybe emboldening him. But you're right. The announcement of the auto tariffs of this particular tariff is ahead of next Wednesday, which is April 2nd. So Trump has repeatedly referred to that date as Liberation Day. So we shall see on that one. A couple of other stories this morning as we think about, well, first of all, Sixers lost.
They still play?
Sixers
I
lost.
was going to say.
I didn't even know they were
119 to
still a thing.
114. I feel like
If they were contracted and taken out of the league yesterday, I would not have noticed.
I feel like it's my Donnie Downer, like, you know what I mean? 119 of 114.
Yep.
But luckily baseball starts.
Yeah.
Thank God today.
So,
Yeah.
It's the opener tomorrow against the today I should say against the Nationals, 4:00 this afternoon. Home opener.
Monday. Yeah, Henry Machette will be down there for during the Dom show, getting some live feedback from some of the fans down there for opening day.
Nice.
Zach Wheeler, a -170 favorite today. I looked at their schedule for when they do come home starting Monday. In April, they get the Braves, the Dodgers, the Mets, the Cubs, and the Giants all in the first month.
Wow.
That is a juicy first month. And by the way, let me give you another Phillies tidbit here. I did a little sports prep for everybody today.
Look at you.
Just to remind people. But this has nothing to do with sports. So they're talking about new food items this year around the ballparks.
Yep.
Citizens Bank Park is rolling out a new item this year, and I think it's disgusting. S'mores quesadillas.
Ugh.
Could you eat a s'more inside of a quesadilla shell?
No.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Well, it's instead of the graham cracker.
Yeah.
It's everything but the
Yes,
graham cracker.
you get the marshmallow and the chocolate, and instead of the graham cracker, you get a nice little buttery, crispy quesadilla shell.
Probably good.
You think so?
Yeah, because it's the salt and the sweet.
See, I've always been like my wife's parents when they do certain events. They'll do if they have a lot of fried foods in their tent because they're told what items they can have and what they can't. They've done the deep fried Oreos. Have you ever had a deep fried Oreo?
Yes.
Yes, sure.
I hate it. I
don't like it either.
I'm appalled by it.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, in this country we can't really invent anything, but when it comes to food concoctions, we're all over that.
Right.
Like, what if we put ranch dressing on the back of a pizza? How would that taste?
How do we make it more fat?
what if we created a jalapeno starburst?
And then, in other news, you wonder why Americans have an obesity epidemic, right?
Trying to boat racing us on AI and everything else, but we could put s'mores in a quesadilla.
Yeah. You wonder why 77% of teens are unfit for the military.
Yeah.
By the way,
the ESPN has the power rankings. I think the Phillies number 2 or number 3.
Wow. Okay.
So
yeah, top 5 for sure. Yep.
They're not better than the Dodgers. I mean,
no. And this whole Trey Turner, Bryce Harper thing better result in a championship.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yep.
I know we're going to talk about Pete Hegseth and all the other national news, Trump, everybody, but I want to get to some stunning news.
Stunning.
This is stunning.
Yep.
After 28 seasons, the Eagles pep band has been let go.
The Eagles!
I saw this yesterday.
They got doged.
What the heck?
Budget cuts.
I didn't realize first of all, I didn't realize that they were employed by the Eagles. I thought that they were just a bunch of fans that stood outside and,
Do they ever go into the stadium? I don't recall ever seeing them inside.
They are credited with the Eagles fight song "Fly Eagles Fly."
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones credited with that.
Yes.
They're being let go, and the Eagles, the wording here is, well, the Eagles are evolving.
Yeah,
evolving.
We needed to pay Saquon. Sorry. The Eagles pep band had to go.
Thank you for your 28 years of service with the organization.
That's what I'm gonna get.
They've been around almost since the beginning of Lurie's time.
Yeah.
28 seasons.
Jeez.
I wonder what the pay for that is.
$50 a game.
They couldn't have been making that much, right?
No, I can't imagine it. No.
Well,
times are tough.
Why would you let them go then? They're credited with creating the pep band in 1996, 1995. And this was the original was Bobby Mansher. Worked, at Sax Tracks Production Studios and created the fight song. I guess perhaps did not coin it. Yeah. Should have.
Which is a very underrated thing, I think, in the NFL. Not many teams have a pep band. The Commanders have one. I think maybe the Chiefs. There's very few. It's not like college where everybody has a band, which kind of leads to kind of the boring nature of most NFL stadiums. Bands make it better.
So they also, were available, I guess, for extra hire at like corporate gatherings and fundraisers, and
maybe they'll show up at the next Conklin appearance.
Weddings.
Joe can throw them a bone.
Maybe one of our big events.
Yeah.
But you're right. I was trying to find how much were they paid. It must have been significant if they're saying we're evolving and bye-bye.
Well, how many members did they have? Does it say?
I think just 4.
Oh, just 4. Okay.
That's all I ever saw. 4.
All right.
Honest to God, I had no idea that they were paid by the Eagles organization.
No, I didn't either.
I thought they were just a bunch of fans that hung out there.
You did?
I did, yes.
They're paying them.
Okay. Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
They've been doged.
They've been
sorry.
doged.
Yeah.
Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you.
That's right.
Well,
I'm waiting for a federal judge to reverse this decision.
Fly, Eagles fly. They'll go into court playing, Your Honor, listen to this beauty of a song.
An Obama-appointed judge reversed the course for Jeffrey Lurie today. He will continue to pay them $200 each home game.
Sinbad said Jeffrey Lurie needed a new yacht.
So we are sponsored by Natural Lawn of America today. 54 degrees, but blustery, windy with the sun. Still bright sunny day. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 62 degrees. But for your Saturday, what a treat. 79, depending on where you are, 79 or 80 degrees for your Saturday. So this 80 degrees, especially Philadelphia, South Jersey, is the warmest day that we've seen or felt since last August.
Wow, I'd love it.
It's going to feel good.
If it never went below 80 again, I'd love it.
And then Sunday, 70 degrees, more clouds than sun, mostly cloudy on Sunday. Monday, for our home opener, it's 73 degrees. The temperature's not the issue, but we could see some raindrops being dodged. So we have to watch the forecast. It could change, but hopefully they'll get the home opener in without pouring rain. Hey, from organic fertilizer, safer weed and insect controls, Natural Lawn. Make sure your lawn thrives naturally, season after season. Just choose Natural Lawn. Get free seeding every year. 800 free seed. Call them 800 free seed. Thank you, Natural Lawn of America, for sponsoring this first edition of our news.
All right, Dawn, thank you very much. Coming up next, we will get to a big take as the CEOs of NPR and PBS were on the Hill yesterday facing questioning from MTG. But right now, let me tell you about my friends at Bucks County Estate Traders. So great to see them last week at Radiothon, and now's a great time to visit because their spring sale is underway. If you're looking to refresh your home with quality furniture that lasts, you need to check out Bucks County Estate Traders. Their massive 58,000 square foot showroom in Hatfield, PA, packed with stunning antique, vintage, and high-end furniture, everything from Stickley and Henkel Harris to Ethan Allen and more. And right now, you can save big during their spring sale. Now through the end of the month, and take a look at your calendar. It's already March 27th. Time's running out. Get 15% off store-wide. Plus, when you buy 3 or more items, you'll get an item for 25% off. Whether you're after classic, modern, or rustic styles, they've got something for every space. And the best part, no waiting months for delivery. You can take it home the same day, or they will ship it nationwide with their white glove delivery service. Check out their incredible showroom in Hatfield or visit buckscountyestatetraders.com. But hurry, the sale will not last forever.
Hi, it's Dom Giordano. It's said you just don't visit Sicily. You fall head over heels in love with this ancient crossroads of civilization. The Greeks, the Romans, the Arabs, the Normans, the Spaniards, the Germans, they all left their cultural mark. I'd like you to join me for the sun, the sea, and the unparalleled beauty of Mediterranean Europe in Sicily and Calabria this fall. I'm headed to Europe again. I'm going with the best tour operator in Italy, Conservative Tours, 5544, including airfare. The dining events we enjoy in Italy are the stuff of legend. Bustling Palermo, the Quattro Conte, stunning Monreale, the Palace of the Normans. Call 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. We'll even enjoy the Godfather tour and visit the locales from the movie. The crown jewel of Sicily has to be Taormina. I'll see you on the Esplanade, Mount Etna, the Valley of the Temples. This is Sicily, ancient, charming, picturesque, and always a country within a country. I'll see you in Savoca.
Home is where everything should just work until it doesn't. When your heat, AC, electric, or plumbing acts up, Oliver's got you covered. With decades of trusted service, Oliver keeps your home systems running year-round. Call Oliver today or visit oliverheatcool.com.
Important Medicare news. Doge chief Elon Musk says all government spending is up for review, and the House plans to cut $800 million in healthcare costs. These cuts could hit Medicare and Medicaid. Now, Rob Finnerty is on Newsmax tonight, revealing the real Medicare crisis. Over 65 million people depend on Medicare, and Rob Finnerty says hardworking Americans that paid for it should get their full Medicare coverage. This week in his series Medicare in Crisis, Rob Finnerty looks at Medicare and why it faces bankruptcy. Big changes are ahead for Medicare. You need to watch Rob Finnerty tonight. Find Newsmax on all major cable systems or download the free Newsmax app on your phone now. Millions are switching to Newsmax because we're fighting for you.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Calling on Huntington Valley to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it today.
Kayal and Company. 627. Live on this Thursday morning. Nick, Dawn, and Greg. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Stacked cut sheet. According to my count, we're about 30 deep on a Thursday. That means we probably should start in about 20 minutes. But right now, let's get down to business. Time for a Thursday Big Take.
The Big Take on Kayal and Company.
And it is brought to you by Anderson Mechanical Corporation. The Big Take: defund NPR and PBS ASAP. If you're a believer in free speech, you believe the government should never intervene in what citizens can or cannot say. If you're a believer in capitalism and meritocracy, as well as the government staying away from media manipulation, you should oppose your federal tax dollars funding any media outlet. I'm in no way suggesting that NPR and PBS should be silenced. I am, however, saying that they should have to generate their own revenue, and it should never come out of the pockets of citizens in the United States of America. Go out there, compete for it, and earn it. Wednesday on Capitol Hill, both NPR and PBS had to face the music. This coming less than 2 months after DOJ unearthed findings that many media outlets in the legacy media have been receiving money from USAID. That includes Politico, the New York Times, the Associated Press, and others, not only selling advertisements, not only with paywalls and subscriptions, but getting your cash. That is outrageous. So is NPR and PBS, we know they are spewing left-wing propaganda, but it's coming on your dime. Here was new Democrat class clown Jasmine Crockett doing what she does best, putting on a show and offering very little substance. Listen and watch.
About emergency management, and they don't care about free speech, all of which are harming American people. In fact, I'm going to skip off real quick because they have tried to come for you, Ms. Mayor, and I just want to clarify, you did not work for NPR when those statements were made, did you?
That is correct, Madam
And to be clear, free speech is not about whatever it is that y'all want somebody to say. And the idea that you want to shut down everybody that is not Fox News is... We need to stop playing, because that's what y'all are doing in here. You don't want to hear the opinions of anybody else. And the Constitution says Congress shall make no law respecting or establishing of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the...
The gentlewoman's time has expired. The gentlewoman's time has expired.
Nobody is saying PBS and NPR needs to be canceled, censored, or suppressed. The argument is that they shouldn't be funded on tax dollars to operate. This has nothing to do with free speech, Jasmine, and it's very rich of the Democrats to talk about canceling opposing views. They've been doing that for a decade. But from one point of view to the counterpoint, here's my girl Marjorie Taylor Greene, MTG's closing statement from yesterday that I fully support. Listen and watch this.
The Corporation for Public Broadcasting is using taxpayer dollars to actively suppress the truth, suppress diverse viewpoints, and produce some of the most outlandish, ludicrous content. After listening to what we've heard today, we will be calling for the complete and total defund and dismantling of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Here's how it works in America every single day, private businesses operate on their own without government funding. We believe that you all can hate us on your own dime.
Boom. Defund that, Jasmine. The same lady who was advocating for the defunding of police now all of a sudden wants partisan viewpoints to remain funded by our hard-earned cash. Unfortunately, while you and I may support this, it looks like most Americans do not. According to Pew Research, headline, Americans are more likely to support than oppose continuing federal funding for NPR and PBS. They write the following. About a quarter of U.S. adults, 24%, say Congress should remove federal funding from NPR and PBS. That according to a Pew Research Center survey that was conducted March 10th through the 16th. But a larger share, 43%, sadly, say NPR and PBS should continue to receive funding from the federal government, while 33% say they are not sure. And of course, this falls on party lines as well. 69% of Democrats, the majority of the Democrat Party, want it to continue. And the majority of the Republican Party, 44%, want it to end. Tennessee's Tim Burchett had this great point to make on the hypocrisy and how the left would act if it was on the other foot. Listen and watch this.
Hey everybody, Tim Burchett, just leaving Oversight, Doge Committee, and NPR and PBS were on the stand, and they needed to be. It's just unbelievable, the far left agenda that they're allowed to perpetrate on this country at taxpayers' expense. Could you imagine if Fox or Real America's Voice or anybody else, Newsmax, if they were allowed to receive federal money? I mean, there'd be an outcry, and there should be. And it's not a First Amendment issue. They can say whatever the heck they want. Just the American taxpayer shouldn't have to pay a dadgum red cent to it. I hope we get the guts and start passing some things to start saving American taxpayers money. It's time. It really is. Thank y'all for saying.
Could you imagine if one dadgum red cent went to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT out of a progressive's pocket in Bluebell, Pennsylvania? Will Bunch would write a 3,000-word column on it. Amen to that, Mr. Burchett. And his viewpoint carries even more weight after the revelations made public in yesterday's hearing. NPR head Catherine Marr admitted that her outlet failed to cover the Hunter Biden laptop story, quote, more aggressively or sooner. But this really shouldn't come as a shocker. Rep. Brandon Gill brought up Marr's old tweets during the hearing that showed she is super slanted. And it doesn't matter if she was employed by NPR when these were posted. It shows the inherent bias. Tweets such as, quote, America is addicted to white supremacy. That's the head of NPR prior to taking the position on social media. Other posts that also supported the looting in the summer of 2020, BLM, and reparations. Your tax dollars going to progressive propaganda. Legal scholar Jonathan Turley of Fox News wrote the following yesterday after the hearings. CEO Catherine Marr spent much of NPR's time addressing her own past extreme views and commentary. This is precisely why some of us encouraged NPR years ago to change course and select a more moderate CEO. Instead, NPR doubled down with the far-left executive who was previously criticized for bias. She then torched internal critics who exposed the overwhelming bias at NPR. This has been going on for years, and NPR has ignored such objections and moved further and further to the left, Even as its audience and revenues fell, it refused to reform. Now, with a real chance that the public funding will be stopped, Maher is saying that her past public views have, quote, evolved and is pledging reforms. She also belatedly apologized for the refusal to cover stories like the Biden laptop. The real question, however, should not be NPR's overwhelming and documented bias. It should be the public funding of a media outlet over its competitors. This country has long opposed state media models. Ding, 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 ding. There you go. NPR, Turley says, is working on a handful of Republicans to see if they can block the defunding effort by promising, after ignoring objections for decades, to bring some, quote, balance to its coverage. Instead, we should get the government out of the state media business in totality as a matter of principle. Let me say two things from what Turley just wrote that I read there. If any Republican works with NPR to block this, they need to be publicly outed and primaried immediately. And secondly, think about how absurd that business model is. It continues to shrink ratings-wise and revenue-wise, but they don't budge because they're bankrolled by we the people. Talk about the ultimate job security. It's time to defund these two operations immediately. And on a personal note, I'd really like to kick their butt in the ratings because we here at 1210 WPHT have earned our audience, we have earned our ratings, and more importantly, we have earned our advertisers. Piazza Auto Group, Natural Lawn of America, Bucks County Estate Traders, Omaha Steaks, Wawa, Blue Chew, just some ones that I've worked with. They haven't earned a damn thing. NPR's been handed everything on a silver platter, and that should stop. And that's the big take.
The Big Take on Kayal and Company.
Brought to you by Anderson Mechanical Corporation. Veteran-owned Anderson Mechanical Corporation is growing rapidly and has career opportunities available right now. If working for a company built on integrity, discipline, and work ethic is important to you, call them today. Veterans highly encouraged to apply. Visit amcontheweb.com. That's amcontheweb.com. 855-839-1210 if you want to jump in. So let's get everybody else's thoughts. Actually, Dawn, I'm going to come to you second this time. I usually come to you first, but because I know Stalker loves this topic and this story, and he's ready to shoot out of his shorts. Gregory, your thoughts from yesterday?
Well, I'm going to. Do you feel slighted, Stensland?
No, I just wanted to. He said you were going to shoot it out of your shorts.
Right. Jimmy put that on the board.
I was excited to see that.
I'm going to give a hat tip to my friend and great listener, Road Warrior, because he sent this GIF, and this is how I feel about the audience in Philadelphia. Roll it.
Yeah. It's mine, you understand? Mine! All mine! Get back in there! Down, down, down! Go, go, go! Mine, mine, mine!
Is that you stuffing down the competition?
That's me stuffing down the competition. No, I in all seriousness, that is a fabulous quote, and it's exactly how I feel. But they need to compete with the rest of us. That's it. That's it, period, full stop. I don't care. I don't care their editorial process. I don't care what they cover. I don't care if they never cover anything that we do. I don't care. I just want them to compete in the workplace, in the business model that we here at 1210 compete. And if they kick our butts, so be it. Then it was meant to be.
Yep.
But I hate seeing, when I get that list of rankers, and we're right there neck and neck with WHYY. It just infuriates me.
Yeah.
Because they have a business model that allows them to just do whatever they want, whenever they want, report on whatever they want, and there's no consequences for it.
The thing that really irritates me, Dawn, is having my first full-time job in radio was back in 2007 up in the Lehigh Valley for a cluster of stations for another big corporate cluster. And I got this sales job, and they said, you can do the morning show, because I was angling. I was trying to get in any way I could to do a show and get in front of a microphone and get reps and prove that I could do it. And they said, well, you got to sell advertising. And I said, okay. And selling advertising, I'm telling you, and I think, Dawn, you know this, Greg, you know this, it doesn't matter how great your radio station is. You could have 20 shares. You could have 25. You could have the number one show in the market for a quarter of a century. It is a challenge for these sales reps every day to go out and hit their quota because it is difficult to sell radio ads. And we fight for especially in our format here, which is viewed to be such toxic right-wing commentary. It's difficult. And this platform of NPR or PBS, they don't even have to go out there and get in their car sales rep wise and drive all over and do follow-up meetings and then be, put through the ringer from an advertiser saying, we'll get back to you. I'm not sure. I got to run it by my partner. They just take your tax dollars and they profit off of it. And it doesn't matter if they're good, bad, or indifferent. As long as they have that revenue stream coming in, they're never going to go anywhere. It's outrageous. It's like a football team starting in the red zone already every single possession. They only got to go 20 yards to punch it in. We got to start at our own 20 and drive the ball 80 yards down the field.
I think it's not about us, competition. It's not about the quality of their programming. It's not about whether or not they lean right or left or wherever they lean. And it's not about free speech.
Nope.
Congressman Crockett can say whatever she wants. They can have their free speech. I just don't want to pay for it. We have a $36 trillion debt. We give them hundreds of millions of dollars a year. This is really simple. We, the taxpayers, the money coming out of our paycheck, should not have to have money extracted from my paycheck, your paycheck, our paychecks to go to them. So they can have all the freedom of speech. They can say whatever the heck they want. They can be progressive, say their pronouns. God bless. I just don't want to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
It's really simple.
You're right.
Can you imagine if during the Trump administration, if they decided that they were going to fund stations like this?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the outcry?
That's what Birch had said.
Yeah, that's a Babylon Bee.
Yeah.
And there would and
Sean Hannity.
And there should be, by the way. There absolutely should be.
Right.
Because if we can't stand on our own merits, then we don't deserve to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this is it's not, people need information and they don't know how to get it, and we need to make sure that there's an FM dial out there that has all the information out there. No, it's not 1934 anymore. Again, like the business market, the business model has changed, and they need to compete with the rest of us. That's all.
Yep.
I think we fund the Eagles pep band with your tax dollars
You're not.
and cut NPR.
I'd rather fund Skinny Joey's cheesesteak shop
agreed.
than NPR.
Yeah, because he's on the road to redemption. That's true.
Turley's so spot on. Americans have forever opposed state media models. And that's exactly what this is, right? I mean, you can sit there and say Fox News is propaganda. You can say MSNBC is propaganda. I have no problem with people that make those claims because in all seriousness, that's what they are. There's very, very few centrist, unbiased, just nuts and bolts news media outlets, even though there's allegedly a demand for it, and allegedly there's a third of America that would love to vote for a third party, and 32% of Americans are independents. The reality is we have one corner and we have the opposing corner. It's like a boxing ring. We got the blue corner, we got the red corner. That's what we have. But, I mean, my God, it shouldn't come out of our paychecks. Yeah. That's the thing that really sticks in your craw.
Yeah, and if Congressman Crockett wants to fund NPR, then she should.
Yeah.
When they have all of their donor drives, call in, give your credit card.
Yep.
Crockett.
Yeah. Let all these Democrats in office that are making $270,000 a year with net worths of $42 million, let them fund it. Let them take their spare change and bankroll NPR.
By the way, I have a friend who works for WHYY. And he was listening yesterday, Dawn, during some of your commentary about said radio station. And you were off on a couple of things. First of all, the starting salary there is not great. He's been there 17 years, and he has he said he's still struggling to get by.
Is this radio or television?
Radio.
Because I was referring to somebody. I was referring to the TV station.
Okay.
Sorry.
And Paul Gluckman has not been there for 2 decades, apparently.
Paul Gluck.
Whatever. Has not been there for 2 decades.
For a while. Well,
So-
I knew he was there for a while, and I said he was a professor at Temple, and he was at CBS 3.
And they do school programs, too, there as well.
Is there a television version of NPR, or is that just PBS?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
there's
that's
the TV
PBS.
version.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've only ever heard of NPR from a radio standpoint. I didn't know that there was a television channel for it.
The quote is, we are in Philadelphia schools. We have a teaching classrooms for students on site, and in the school teaching the next generation of content creators. So there you go.
All right, there you go.
Just wanted to correct all that.
Yeah, here's the thing. It doesn't need correction. I was not referring to radio. I said that there was.
I am never wrong.
No. There was a reporter that worked for KYW who went to the TV side.
Yeah.
And my TV friends say they make pretty good coin. Their starting salaries are more than, for example, if you work at 6ABC.
Well, are you saying KYW Radio or KYW TV3?
KYW Radio.
Oh, okay. So
So
they went from
it's
radio
known as
to TV.
CBS3 is the
Right.
TV station. KYW is our local sister station.
Right.
So I was referring to the television side of it.
Okay. All right. 855-839-1210. What's his name? Gluck? Gluckman?
Paul Gluck. He I said this yesterday. Is he still involved with them? I think he still is. Maybe with the education side, but he's at the Lou Klein College of Communication at Temple. He's still an associate professor. He's a big name there.
Marcus Aurelius says on Twitter, I want to see WPHT take on NPR in an all-out Royal Rumble.
I do too.
Like the Bloods versus the Crips.
I do too.
Switchblades, brass knuckles, and lead pipes.
I love that.
I just like to debate them on any of their commentary. That's
Yeah.
all. All right, we'll come back. We've got a lot of stuff yesterday from the fallout of the Signal app that continues to garner a lot of attention. I think there's a lot of mental gymnastics that are being executed in front of microphones and on social media. I don't think this is a very complicated story at all, but we'll get into the latest revelations as we wrap up the hour next. Kayal and Company on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
You know, when it comes to this time of year, you think about 80 degrees by Saturday. This is the time. If you don't have a lawn care service, you want to get one. Let me recommend my lawn care company for many years now, Natural Lawn of America, because it makes sense that you want a lawn care company that gives you better results and it's safer for you, your family, your kids, your pets, the grandkids. At Natural Lawn of America, they believe in growing greener, healthier lawns without all those harsh chemicals. They use environmentally friendly products to keep your lawn lush and green while protecting the safety of your family and your pets. From the organic fertilizers to the safer weed and insect controls, they make sure your lawn thrives naturally, season after season. And you don't have to take my word for it. Join the growing number of homeowners who are switching or have just switched to Natural Lawn's safer services. Start enjoying a beautiful, lush, eco-friendly lawn that you can be proud of. Just schedule Natural Lawn's full-service program. You get free seeding every year. If you want that greener, healthier lawn plus free seeding, just call them 800-FREE-SEED, 800-FREE-SEED, and this is customized to your lawn. You get a little thingy on the door, just like I got last week. They give you the rundown. They tell you what you need. Maybe you can sign up for other services, but this is their incredible full-service program. That's what we've had for years. They do a beautiful job. Your lawn deserves the best. I want you to call the best. My lawn care company, Natural Lawn of America, greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Will new tariffs impact small businesses? Rising costs and economic uncertainty can hurt your bottom line. But with Swish Funding, your business can stay strong. We offer fast, flexible funding solutions from $10,000 to $2 million for working capital, cash flow, and more, and as little as 24 hours with no collateral needed. If your business earns at least $50,000 per month and has been around for over a year, you could qualify today. Go to swishradio.com and use code RADIO. Swishradio.com, code RADIO.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we provide no-cost digital resources in place of textbooks and most courses. And that's not all. You'll receive your accredited online education at an affordable tuition with a choice from more than 135 degree and certificate programs. With online and hybrid courses, get everything you need to succeed again. Learn more at umgc.edu, certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS.
I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to Hims.
Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Home is where everything should just work until it doesn't. When your heat, AC, electric, or plumbing acts up, Oliver's got you covered. With decades of trusted service, Oliver keeps your home systems running year-round. Call Oliver today or visit oliverheatcool.com. oliverheatcool.com.
Call Oliver for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Free speech lives here. With Don Stensland, 10 till noon, on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
Kayal and Company, Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, where the audience stays with this station longer than any other station in the market, despite commercial breaks.
What did Don Stensland say during Radiothon? We have the most stamina of any other Philadelphia radio.
Stamina.
That's right. That's right. Take that, NPR.
Yeah.
We can give a 6-minute commercial break and everybody still sticks around.
Yeah,
that's called quality content.
It's amazing. The #1 listened to longest station in Philadelphia.
That's right.
1210 WPHT.
Not music, not sports.
Certainly not music.
Not traffic and weather. Not propaganda. Just free speech. Dawn's news coming up. We'll get to the Signal app fallout. A lot of things to discuss from yesterday. I think I was right when it pertains to Trump behind the scenes. Dawn looks like she was right with the media and Hegseth. We're going to get to those revelations, and also where I think this 25% auto tariff from Trump comes into play with the Signal app story. I'll give you my theory on that coming up. But just to wrap up the hour, because we have about a minute here, want to give a shout out. Yesterday was our initial soft push for the Bend to the Shore bike tour. GregStockerSucks.com.
Thank you.
And even though it was a soft push, we've had some strong results. Bob Fazio, thank you very much for signing up. These are names that have either signed up to ride or have already donated. Bob Fazio, Dan Meredith, and Martin Turofsky. Hopefully I didn't butcher your last name, Martin, but looks like we have at least 3 riders on day 1 for our team.
Wow. It's
So,
amazing.
Yeah, and we have 4 months to go. So I think we're going to have a stacked squad this year.
I talked to our general sales manager, Rob Klustein, yesterday, and he, with one leg, is going to ride.
So you have no excuse. You have none. And you're not doing 10, or you're going to do the full Megillah here.
Yeah.
The full Monty, 65.
Rob has like a bionic leg.
He does.
So it probably is an advantage.
Thank you, Dawn. Exactly.
I'm just saying.
My friend Dawn Stensland sticking up for me.
I mean, if Kalustyan can do it, all of you can, folks. All right.
GregStockerSucks.com. It's a great cause. It's a great charity. Please donate. Please be generous. Our goal is $15,000. We discussed different things yesterday, Dawn, where we might do some practice rides, maybe have some meetups at local establishments.
Yeah, it's like spring training.
I need to get in. I need to get into bike shape.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got to do this.
I'm in decent shape, but I need to get in bike shape.
Unless you're Marissa Fitzgerald and you just show up and you knock it out in 4 hours like it's no big deal and you've never rode a bike before. So, not that I feel embarrassed as a man.
See, Road Warrior he's starting a war here because he's on Dawn's team. He wants to be on Dawn's team. He's going to be Team Dawn.
For what?
For the bike ride.
Dawn, are you riding?
I have not officially announced that.
You haven't declared your intentions
I'm playing
yet?
hard to get.
She's still a free agent.
I'm a free agent. That's right.
She's in the portal.
Are you calling me a cheap trick?
855-839-1210. GregStockerSucks.com to donate, to ride, or to do both. All right, we'll come back. We'll get some news to kick off hour number 2. The Signal app saga continues. We've got more revelations with woke Snow White and also a story I hope we can get to today as Bobby Kennedy is going after Big Pharma advertising. And you know what? You don't need to silence and censor left-wing propaganda. If this happens and Big Pharma can no longer advertise on television, did you know, I'll give you a little tidbit here, that actually mainstream media, CNN specifically, 75% of their ad revenue comes from Big Pharma. If Bobby has his way, he might put CNN out to pasture permanently. Back after this with Hour 2.
Warning, if you're thinking about surgery to fix your chronic joint pain, stop, because surgery can be risky, painful, and come with a lengthy recovery time. But there is an alternative, a groundbreaking therapy that revitalizes damaged tissue with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetics has successfully treated tens of thousands of patients, freeing them from pain in their knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints. Before you resort to invasive surgery, find out if you're a candidate for this advanced regenerative therapy by calling 267-813-1311. Don't let chronic pain dictate your life any longer, and don't risk surgery. Learn more about the joint pain therapy endorsed by professional athletes and available now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. To find out if you're eligible, request a free consultation from QC Kinetics. You owe it to yourself to learn more about this surgery-free alternative with no drugs and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today by calling 267-813-1311. 267-813-1311.
The world is your jackpot at Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa during the $1 million Worldly Winnings drawing. Play and earn entries now through April for your chance at over $1 million in prizes, including 10 $25,000 dream vacation packages. Drawings every Saturday with grand prize drawings March 29th and April 26th. The world is your jackpot at Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa. $1 million Worldly Winnings only at Borgata. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at the Keswick Theater April 5th. Proceeds support the Abington Police Foundation and St. Luke's School. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
JoeConklin.com! WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Looking for a natural way to boost energy, support your heart, stay active as you age? It's time to try Rescue Orosine. This unique supplement gives your body the essentials it needs to fight fatigue, improve stamina, without relying on sugar, caffeine, or artificial boosters. Plus, it supports healthy blood pressure and overall cardiovascular function, helping you feel your best every day. Right now, my listeners can take advantage of a special buy one, get one free offer on Rescue Orosine. Just use the code MYND Energy when you order. Call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. You speak with a knowledgeable product consultant or visit res-q.com and enter that code MyEnergy at checkout. Don't miss out. This exclusive deal will not last long. Go to res-q.com and use that code MyEnergy, MYENERGY, to grab Rescue Oracine with that buy one, get one free saving. Stay energized, stay heart healthy with Rescue Natural Supplements.
This March, during Hester Chevy's Truck Month, get a new 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab Work Truck C71 SSV, just $43,999. Or lease a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT with 2.9% APR for 72 months. Looking for another great lease offer? A 2025 Chevy Equinox EVLT lease for just $199 a month for 36 months. Visit us at HesterChevy.com. Call 267-343-9094 for details. Together, let's drive.
Hester Chevrolet!
Tasty Cake has a treat for every Joan. Peanut butter fans have candy cakes, the chocolate-coated cakes with a creamy layer of peanut butter inside. You like the simple classics? Crimpets are light sponge cakes topped with rich icing. Donut lovers have options for days. You've got frosted mini donuts, powdered mini donuts, and can't forget about the delicious Dippin' Sticks flavors. I mean, there's so many uniquely satisfying treats to choose from. But that's no surprise because it's Tasty Cake, except no substitutes.
Keswick Theater welcomes The Rascals on April 18th, Almost Queen on May 10th, and Harry Chapin's Greatest Stories live on May 17th. Tickets are on sale at keswicktheater.com. That's keswicktheater.com.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet?
Not yet.
Do it today.
Okay.
At 1210 WPHT.
Mustard. Kayal and Company, hour number 2. Stay tuned at 9:50 this morning. A big metal theme for today in music history. Phil now tweets out previews of what's ahead in 2 hours and 48 minutes. What a narcissist. It's unbelievable. 855-839-1210. As we continue, Nick Kayal, Dawn Stalker. Dawn Stenzel and Greg Stalker.
What?
Well, you guys are husband and wife at work. Dawn Stalker. Got a decent ring. I don't hate it. Dawn probably hates it.
I'm getting all red.
Getting all verklempt over there. This is what happens when I get my second cup of coffee before the cut sheet. I start to get a little wired. 855-839-1210. A lot of great stories that we will get to today. We're going to get to the Signal app. We'll also get to the latest fallout in Hollywood with politics. Also, this Bobby Kennedy pharmaceutical ad campaign, which I absolutely love. I was on that when I was like 16 years old. I'd look over at my mom and I'd be like, so that commercial will help alleviate one issue but create 13 others? Is that how this works? And she would just nod her head along and pour another martini. 855-839-1210. Let's get to the news. Round number 2 at 7:03. The great Dawn Stenzel.
And we are sponsored this morning by Piazza Auto Group. We've talked about a $20,000 reward that's being offered for information leading to the arrest and conviction of a person of interest, if you will, a suspect who is accused of being on a bus, on a Philadelphia bus, and shooting and killing an Upper Darby High School student, a 15-year-old kid. That victim, Zakir Whitfield, his family speaking out, his father speaking out, grandparents speaking out. But in this case, the suspect, 17-year-old Zyke Davis, was on the bus, riding the bus, gets off the bus, and turns, as he's getting off the bus, shoots and kills this 15-year-old at 40th and Girard. That story making headlines as well. We've got a Philadelphia City Councilwoman speaking out, Kendra Brooks. Her dog Buzz, a little poodle. She's very sad that her poodle was taken. The poodle apparently got through the fence of her home in Logan. I don't think she's offering a reward, but she's putting up posters and putting out the words, speaking out about that one.
Okay.
Excuse me.
You're right, Dawn Stalker.
There it is.
Sorry, Dawn Stalker. Got something caught. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
I can't reach. Like, I'm over here. And
Yeah,
my
there's
cough button is.
I
like,
know her setup is not the best,
Not the
and sorry about that.
No. So you're gonna love this next story. We haven't talked a lot about what's going on with Alina Habba, the Trump's choice for U.S. attorney in New Jersey. So there's a story out of, and she has said now she will investigate this one, and it's out of Paterson, New Jersey.
Yep.
Where do we have the story? Is this on the cut sheet?
No.
Okay.
No, but I've been reading about this, but
okay.
Yep.
So this, I just want to make sure that I'm not that we don't have it scheduled for. I didn't see it on the sheet. Okay, so this is a New Jersey police officer who has sewn a Palestinian flag on his uniform, and so there are reports of this. Some citizens are not happy about the fact that this is on his uniform,
right?
To pay homage, he says, to his ethnic roots.
And worth noting too that Alina Habba is of Iraqi descent. Her parents are Iraqi. I think that's the
Christian.
correct.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So she is. This is Officer Adib Igniz, and he has spoken to an interviewer, and he's bilingual, so speaking in Arab, and says that he wants to represent his origins. His family is originally Palestinian, wearing that Palestinian flag patch on his uniform. And so some people have a problem with it. He was born in the United States. He's been on the force for the past 3 years. But there are videos of this as people say this is not appropriate because you can't just put a flag, any patch you want, sewn on your uniform. And so there's a pushback between some citizens who think this is not appropriate and others who say that it's the commitment to diversity in New Jersey. So I know that as far as the U.S. Attorney elect, she is somebody who has said she would look into it only because she's received calls about this.
And Alina Habba is my choice as well. Not necessarily for U.S. Attorney. She would just be my choice in every aspect of life. But so what now? What office or brand? Who does he work for? You're talking about the uniform.
He's actually a Paterson, New Jersey. He's a uniformed police officer.
Okay, so not military.
Not military.
Because I was going to say, if it's in the military, well, you can't be advocating publicly for America's enemy while serving America in the line of duty. Now, police, I guess I would have less of an issue with it.
No, it's the same thing in my.
You think so?
Yeah, same thing in my book. Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah,
because
absolutely.
as a police officer, he's not fighting Hamas or terrorists. He's just fighting bad guys here in this country.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Because then what happens when one of these kook protests breaks out and one of these pro-Palestinian people are breaking things or setting things on fire?
Yeah.
And, this police officer looks like a, supporter of that. No?
Yeah, I guess. But then if he is, in the line of duty and he arrests these protesters once they go above and beyond their right to protest peacefully under free speech, then he's doing his job. I have less of an issue with it. That's actually a very interesting story. That's kind of a slippery slope, is it not?
It's remember in was it Springfield Township, which is it's Montgomery County, right out. I mean, it's like I drive by their police department every day because it's right outside the Northwest Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They had that controversy a year or two ago where they had little patches that just said "Back the Blue" and they had a flag, and it was a back and forth.
Yeah, should never have been a back and forth, by the way.
So police departments, I guess this is a local issue. I don't know that it's so it's a free speech, but if you have a uniform, generally speaking, the municipality you work for gets to dictate what patch is on that uniform. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, but then aren't we talking about the government censoring speech? And isn't that what we fight against? Because you're a government employee. So I don't know.
It's a great issue. In this case, I will also say this particular officer, does it work well for him that just yesterday we had hundreds of Palestinians in, over in Gaza who were protesting against Hamas.
Yeah.
And saying that, now they're feeling that they're free to do this, which because they haven't had an election in like 18 years. And so you had all of these Palestinian protesters who are anti-Hamas blaming the terrorist group for oppressing them, blaming them for all the problems that they've suffered.
Jimmy Kelly just said that a caller that couldn't wait on hold just called in and said a lot of police officers in Paterson, New Jersey are wearing this Palestinian flag. I remember years ago going to a Middle Eastern buffet type of restaurant in Paterson. I think there's a big Arabic population in Paterson.
There's some wild stuff going on there, by the way.
Yeah.
There's some wild stuff. I don't know. like the mayor is all woke, and I don't know what's happening in Paterson.
Yeah.
Well, we have also with acting New Jersey U.S. Attorney Lena Haba. She's on this.
Oh, yeah. Good job, Phil.
What?
Look at the YouTube video. Welcome to Little Palestine. From Paterson to Jerusalem.
So this is, these kinds of signs,
Wow.
people are very upset.
5,692 miles. How many miles is your flight to Italy, Dawn? Now that we're tracking trips
I don't know.
here.
I sleep.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I sleep the whole time.
If these people like that part of the world so much, then go live there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't see any of them going to, packing up and moving to Gaza.
No. Put your money where Rosie O'Donnell's mouth is.
Yeah.
Leave.
So again,
disgraceful.
You have taxpayers, saying in protests in New Jersey, we're not Palestine, we're Paterson.
Yes, as well it should be.
Yeah.
So that controversy, also with Alina Habba, a bunch of
By the way, if you're a homosexual that lives there, or if you're a woman and stuff, and you believe in a lot of the teachings of Sharia law and that stuff that they believe in the Middle East, like maybe you're scared for your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, if Palestine's so great, then, why are they not so diverse in their acceptance of beliefs over there?
How they're all such hypocrites. They would last 10 seconds there.
10.
So there's another question as far as Alina Habba. Remember that the other U.S. attorney who was before her was the brother of Representative Ro Khanna.
Oh,
remember this?
Yeah.
So just to give you like a little backdrop of this entire situation. So is she on a collision course with a federal judge over President Trump's order, because he's done all these executive orders? One of the orders was to push the pause button on these cases against business individuals who allegedly engaged in bribery in violation of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. And so you have a North Jersey U.S. District Judge. This is Michael Farbiars, and he refused a request by John Giordano, who was
Dom's
before,
brother.
Yeah, not Dom's brother, who was before Alina Habba.
Okay.
And so they wanted a 6-month delay in a case that involves alleged bribery in India. And instead, the judge ordered the prosecutors to choose between either going to trial, like coming up in a couple weeks, or a motion to dismiss. So there are some, my point to you is this, there are some very contentious cases that she is inheriting. I think it's interesting to just watch, what does she honor? Where does she go? I mean, she's a smart cookie, and she's very sharp. So we'll follow this, but I would just want to start really following Alina Habba. Yeah. What is she doing as the U.S. attorney in New Jersey?
Bob Fazio, who just signed up for the bike ride, thanks, Bob, is on the YouTube chat. He says, a uniform is a uniform, not a billboard. Agreed.
Yeah, valid point.
We don't want your pledge pin.
Yeah.
By the way, Dawn, I don't mean to interrupt your news, but there is a representative of Baby the Deer on line one who wants to debate us.
Okay.
So,
okay,
I would like to take this.
Okay, let me do the sponsor really quick. Piazza Auto Group, because baby, we got to get to you, dear.
Apparently, we're spreading misinformation. So I invited the representatives for Baby the Deer.
Right, the social media litigation team of Bambi's twin,
to call in and set the record straight on what we got wrong, because we're a free speech station.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Piazza Auto Group, they love the baby deers. Lease a new 2025 Honda Civic or HR-V. This starts at $249 a month for 36 months. Piazza Honda. Visit Piazza Honda of Philadelphia, Langhorne, Pottstown, Reading, or Springfield for details. Online, piazzahonda.com. Thank you, Piazza Auto Group. I know it's blustery today with wind, sun, 55 degrees, but hang on, baby, because we're heating up to 80 degrees. Some models are now saying 83 degrees on Saturday, 70 for Sunday. 83 degrees for your Saturday. Nick Kayal.
Yeah, great day to spend your afternoon in a dance studio.
That's some good hunting weather.
Yeah. a bunch of moms hooting and hollering, thinking their kid's the next Taylor Swift. God
Please,
help me.
Can somebody get video of Nick?
Just forget video.
Please.
Just send me a flask.
Dance for me, Nicky. He loves to go to the dance.
Yeah.
Where's
Not my kind of dancing. I prefer Elena Haba late at night on a pole.
Oh, my Lord.
What? Okay. She would hit you over the head with a pole.
She would. She's got that Iraqi temper. Pow.
And so that's the thing with in the because we have a big population of different people who've Lebanon, Iraqi, who are Christian, and that's what she is. And they've either come to this country, still have family there who are very concerned about the Christian communities who are persecuted in the Middle East.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much, Dawn. So we're going to go to line one in a moment. But for those maybe that missed Monday, I think it was Monday's show.
Yeah.
We talked about this story, Cliff Note version. Lady, I believe, 64 years old, living in, I think, a trailer park community. Has a baby deer and has had the deer from Jump Street, basically. Pennsylvania Gaming Commission says, sorry, you cannot do this. And there's, of course, laws out there, I think, something to the effect of, if you take one from the wild, it's against the law. But if you've had it from the beginning and it was in captivity all along, I guess technically it's okay. We had the story in the news. We were reading from, I forget what the outlet was. It was a mainstream, media outlet.
All of them have CBS, ABC.
Yeah.
But we were reading from the Inquirer, Jesse
Inquirer.
Bunch,
Yes.
and People Magazine.
Okay.
And also the original report from the Pennsylvania Game Commission.
Well,
by the way.
that's one of the issues with this guy or this person who's calling in.
Yep.
Who says that we're taking the talking points from the Gaming Commission.
So we obviously after the show, we'll usually grab 2 or 3 things that we thought were worth repopulating on social media. We'll clip it and we'll post it. And in the aftermath of posting it the last couple of days, our mentions have been blowing up from a lot of baby supporters
By the
out
way,
there.
I deleted the tweet because I just couldn't take it anymore with these people.
Oh,
honestly.
you did?
I deleted the tweet because
I just
was
mute
just like,
the conversation.
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
see your
just
nonsense.
didn't even see it.
Yeah.
Well. All right, so
because I was trying to chase the nice little deer out of my yard.
Yeah. Let's go to line one. Anonymous person that's not a bot, but is here to defend the deer and the defendant in this case. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm not a bot, but thank you for having me on.
Sure.
Thank you, Greg, for actually inviting me on.
No problem.
So we could, and I really appreciate freedom of speech. That's what I fought for in the military, and
thank you for your service.
That's what I'm here for right now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to clarify things, and maybe People Magazine kind of took things out of context, in my opinion. It's very one-sided when it comes from mainstream media.
Sure.
But X, Elon Musk did post about this. Marjorie Taylor Greene did post about this actual issue on the side of baby. But I want to. So let me go over some things. First off, where did the trailer park thing come from? Because they don't live in a trailer park. They live in a 3-acre lot. It looks like a manufactured home.
On the video I saw, it looked like a trailer park. That was
okay. It's definitely not a trailer park.
Okay.
But they do have like a 3-acre lot that backs up to the woods.
Got it.
So that's the first thing. But so let me just update you on what's going on right now with the court case. They filed a petition for return of property. They have a receipt from the neighbor. Candy and Tammy did not take baby, right? The baby was actually the neighbor's deer, and they met it when it was first maybe 3 months old. It walked over to them, and then it sort of adopted them because it was a neighborhood pet deer, and so everyone in the neighborhood knew who Baby was. And they ended up providing food and care for it. They had like a 10 by 10 shed with fresh hay. They even had a mattress out for it to lay on, so it was living the life. But the main issue was they wanted to make sure it was legally kept. And so they tried to do everything they could to make sure it was fully legal. They even registered it as a emotional support pet because Candy is unfortunately permanently in a wheelchair, so she doesn't really leave her home.
So they tried to register it as an ESA?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they did. And it was castrated, or we could say neutered, like any animal or pet would be, or even like a bull would be a steer, and the reason being is because for safety, right? They were just trying to comply with the Pennsylvania deer farm laws.
So I get all right. So my question is then, what does the law state? Because I was under the impression from what I read, again, not my opinion, but what was published, was that if you get a deer from these deer farms, that's legal. But if the facts are that this was a deer that at 3 months old emerged from the woods and stuck around in this neighborhood because it was being fed, that is against the law. So I don't know what the law is, or I don't really care what the law is. To me, the point being that I was trying to make, at least me, not Dawn or Greg specifically, I don't want to speak for them, was we can't pick and choose what laws and which laws we decide to adhere to and which ones we decide to, say, I don't really care. I mean, if you're law and order, you're law and order 100%. You can't pick and choose a la carte. So do you know specifically what the law says, and did the Gaming Commission then overstep their bounds?
Yeah, absolutely. So the law is you cannot take an animal from the wild, right? And that's where the Gaming Commission, that's their jurisdiction, sort of. But by owning a deer, by having an actual receipt for purchase from a deer farm, that falls under agricultural. So that's actually not even their jurisdiction in the first place.
So do they have that receipt? Other thing is, do they have that receipt?
Yeah. So for in the petition that was just filed, they submitted that receipt that proves that Baby was purchased from a specific deer farm, as well as other things. So, but that's coming. That date is on the 3rd of April, so we're all kind of looking forward to that date.
But now I'm not saying that you're contradicting yourself, but it sounds like you've given me two conflicting viewpoints. You say that this was purchased from a deer farm, but I think you also said that this was a deer that came out of the wild that started showing up 3 months in.
At the neighbor's house. It's at the neighbor's house? Where was the deer born?
This elderly lady,
Here's the crux of the whole thing, and I had reported this at the time. The Game Commission reported that they were called in. So they get information that an animal from the wild, so say you're the Game Commission, you're the officer. They get a report that an animal born in the wild is now being held in captivity, and so they go to take the animal. If that animal can be proved to have been born not in the wild, but in captivity, even if it's not a deer farm, if it was born in captivity, my understanding, Game Commission has no jurisdiction. So if they have that report, then they could get Baby back, who's at a licensed facility right now as we speak. Right?
Well, yeah. Well, thank you for the call, anonymous caller. We appreciate it.
Well, hang on. Did you hear any of that, sir?
Yeah. I missed about 10 seconds.
Oh, all right.
The question is, if they have documentation, they have documentation that this deer was born in captivity.
Mm-hmm.
They do?
Yeah, they have documentation. That's correct. The deer was born in captivity because they purchased it from a game farm or from a deer farm. Right, so that proves that it was legally born in a deer farm.
But if it's legal, I don't care then. Yeah, it don't matter to me then.
Yeah.
So if it was legally purchased, then what's the?
Yeah, who called the Game Commission?
Yeah,
it's probably a neighbor that's just annoyed by it.
That's exactly probably it. But they also knew about Baby for a few years because initially they tried to register it earlier on and they couldn't. They tried everything to just legally own it, and then 2 years later, this is where we're at. But yeah, that receipt sort of like it was lost. Okay, so the lady who bought it, she's older. She's had a few strokes, so she's not all like my mom had a stroke, so I totally understand this.
Mm-hmm.
But she ended up finding the receipt within the last month, right? So that's how that came about, and it's been submitted. We're also working with like Mayor Longo, Dave Maloney, Representative Dave Maloney, and we've talked to like Scott Pressler. We've been reaching out to people about this issue. The biggest problem I have is mainstream media misreporting information. And when I first saw this story at the very beginning, I just got pissed off because it felt very one-sided.
Sure, it is.
So I personally found Tammy's number. I called Tammy. I talked to them, and to be honest, they're really good people.
Good.
So I felt bad for them because they didn't have a voice. No one was sticking up for them.
Well, you're their voice
that's
here.
That's why we came together.
Yeah,
nice.
We really have to break, but thank you so much for calling in and putting this side of the story out because we didn't know it. So thanks, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, if it's all legal, I am totally fine with that. I have no problem.
This isn't WPHT versus Bambi.
No.
We're just here to make entertaining radio and report news, kind of,
and occasionally process some venison jerky.
I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to listen.
All right, brother.
Thanks, buddy.
There he is.
All right.
Guy on line one, we'll call him. There he is.
The good news is that the buck is fine. You know what I mean? Is at a licensed facility.
Yeah.
The game commission won't say where.
Yeah.
But if she goes, lady in a wheelchair and she has a lot of support and she says, here's where I think they should just give baby back.
Yeah, and for all the people, like, who cares? It's just a stupid deal. Like Elon Musk has weighed in on this. Like this is a big news story.
Yeah.
It's a big news story that's happening in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So
And Marjorie Taylor Greene weighed in.
Everybody calm down.
So what's more important for Scott Pressler, flipping jersey from blue to red or saving baby? We'll have to ask him.
What's really important to us is breaking.
Yes, because unlike NPR, we do have commercials to play. Back after this.
Yeah, we got to talk about a little magic, though. Make the magic happen in your kitchen with Kitchen Magic. Family-owned Kitchen Magic has been making dream kitchens come true to life for more than 45 years and making 60,000 homeowners very happy. Kitchen Magic's experts are going to guide you every single step of the way, from the free in-home design consultation to top-notch installation. So whether you're thinking about refacing or brand new cabinetry, or what about a complete makeover, your kitchen transformation is covered with high-quality, American-made products. And your new kitchen's going to be functional and enduring as it is beautiful. Right now, enjoy an amazing 40% off installation, kitchenmagic.com. Kitchenmagic.com. Get 40% off the cost of installation. Tell Dawn sent you.
Ever feel like there aren't enough hours in the day? If you get busy or miss your favorite show, don't worry. With Rewind, available exclusively on the free Odyssey app, you can stream your favorite shows on demand. You know your day is better with us. Get the news that matters to you from the local voices you trust, no matter what you're up to. Give it a try. To get started, download the free Odyssey app and search for your station. That's AUDACY.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
Oh, mornings. Some people love them.
Okay, you have everything for your math test, and Mom, you have my lunch.
Some people hate them.
Everybody get in the car. Go, go, go.
We've all got to do them. Good thing Wawa's up and ready for you every morning. With fresh coffee, hot sizzlies, and fast, friendly service to keep your morning moving right along. Mornings made easy. Gotta have a Wawa.
Dawn Stensland here. My friends at Piazza Premium Automobiles feature the latest luxury vehicles from today's top brands. Mercedes-Benz, Jaguar, Land Rover, BMW, Porsche, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, and more. Sleek new designs and innovative features with thousands of new and certified pre-owned vehicles available across Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey. Piazza Premium Automobiles stands out. Visit PiazzaPremiumAutos.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Home is where everything should just work until it doesn't. When your heat, AC, electric, or plumbing acts up, Oliver's got you covered. With decades of trusted service, Oliver keeps your home systems running year-round. Call Oliver today or visit OliverHeatCool.com. OliverHeatCool.com.
Call Oliver for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
Get ready to hit it out of the park every time you fire up the grill this spring with Hatfield. Swing into action with Hatfield's variety of marinated pork, ground pork and sausage, ham, bacon, and your favorite Hatfield Phillies Franks. With over 24 distinct flavors that can be ready in minutes, Hatfield pork is food you'll feel good about serving. From home or at the ballpark, find your flavor with Hatfield, the official pork provider of the Phillies. Visit simplyhatfield.com for recipes and put pork on your fork.
Why settle for any meal deal when you can have one you really want? Wawa's $5 Big Breakfast Deal gets you any Sizzly breakfast sandwich, any size and flavor hot or iced coffee, plus a hash brown, all for just $5. Now featuring our new French Toast Sizzly. It's the $5 Big Breakfast Deal, and Wawa made it big just for you. Big taste, big value. Mornings made easy. Gotta have a Wawa.
All right, time to tell you about my friends at Natural Lawn of America. When you're choosing a lawn care service, doesn't it make sense to hire a company that provides better results and is safer for your family and your pets? That's why I chose Natural Lawn of America, my lawn care company. At Natural Lawn, they believe in growing greener, healthier lawns without the harsh chemicals, and they use environmentally friendly products to keep your lawn lush and green while protecting the safety of your family and pets. From organic fertilizers to safer weed and insect controls. They make sure that your lawn thrives naturally season after season, but don't take my word for it. Join the growing number of homeowners switching to Natural Lawn's safer services and start enjoying a beautiful, eco-friendly lawn. Schedule Natural Lawn's full-service program today and get free seeding every year. If you want a greener, healthier lawn plus free seeding, call Natural Lawn. 800-FREE-SEED. That's 800-FREE-SEED. Your lawn deserves the best, so call the best. Greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed.
From Broomall to Blackwood, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Kayal and Company live on a Thursday morning. 7 o'clock hour brought to you by Bucks County Estate Traders. Spring into savings at Bucks County Estate Traders during their Buy More, Save More event. 15% off every item. When you buy 3 or more, get 25% off an additional item. Conditions apply. Visit Bucks County Estate Traders in store or online, buckscountyestatetraders.com. Cut sheet coming up in just about 10 minutes as we continue, Nick, Dawn, and Greg. And speaking of continuing, hopefully the last day we talk about this story. I definitely think it'll be out of the news cycle by Monday, but the Signal app saga continues. And there's a couple of things that we need to touch on from yesterday's, battles on the Hill. And you'll hear some of the commentary, the opinions, the questioning coming up in the cut sheet. I just wanted to start with a few things. First of all, I think lost in all of this is the fact that, and I was critical of Mike Waltz, but lost in all of this, the mission was a success. There were no lives of American soldiers lost. They pulled it off basically flawlessly beyond this mishap, obviously, with the app. And I'm not downplaying the app and the story. I thought it was a big story. Some people think it's a big deal. Others think it's a small deal. Some say no deal, who cares? But lost in all of this, it was a success. And also, kudos to this administration for being far tougher on these terrorist scumbags, the Houthis, Yemen, bankrolled by Iran, than the previous administration. Remember, it was Biden that said they were no longer a terrorist organization. Mm-hmm. They are a terrorist organization, and I want the bombs dropped on their heads. I also think that I was correct where I said in the big take on Tuesday that if I was Trump, and again, I was framing it from my point of view, I would have been pissed. Politico, for what it's worth, not an ally of the Trump administration, says that Trump was in fact mad and suspicious that Waltz had Atlantic editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg's number saved in his phone in the first place, and they are citing 3 people familiar with the situation who were granted anonymity to discuss private conversations, and a 4th person said the president was also particularly perturbed by the embarrassing nature of the episode, which makes me wonder, do we have more moles? Do we have more rats in this administration? Why is it that the Democrat administrations are supposedly so tight-lipped, and every time Trump's in office, I've got stuff being leaked out that makes the guy that I voted for look bad? And again, my big take was if I was Trump, I would be mad. Now, Dawn, I think you were right because I was, saying that, Mike Waltz has to be held accountable. You thought it would go all the way up to the top with Pete Hegseth, and surprise, surprise, MSNBC with a column. Pete Hegseth, not Mike Waltz, made the biggest mistake in the Signal scandal. The writer of this column for MSNBC says it was Hegseth who put the precise timing and sequencing of the entire operation into an unclassified text app. It was Hegseth who revealed the aircraft. It was Hegseth who moved classified information, blah, blah, blah. It was Hegseth that put brave service members at risk. Do you get the sense that they have now shifted the blame to Hegseth? Because I kind of feel like you were suggesting that's the route they would take.
Well, because I think he's the big name, and he's who they are after. But, Secretary Hegseth put out there, they never gave the location, they never gave any of this, that it's not classified. So if they are saying this was never classified information, that they're having a discussion, Maybe you feel that it was too much information on a discussion, but it was encrypted. And this app, this Signal app, is used by, it was approved at some point during the past administration. I think as long as they say and they determine that it was not classified, there's no criminality.
Right.
And that's really why an investigation is always required with this stuff. Did anybody break the law? Because people have, in fact, with security breaches or releasing classified. Well, I guess unless you hide classified information like in your garage by your Corvette, then I guess that's okay. But other than that, you could go to jail. But no, what they're saying is this was not classified. You might think it was not appropriate. I think that they pretty much have fixed the situation as far as where they're going to have their discussions. But they still do have to find out, because people were calling in yesterday, I know, mid-morning, saying, people who are much more media savvy on this stuff, saying it's still, and I believe this, it's just too weird to me that this very liberal, very left-leaning, anti-Trump Atlantic.
Weird how?
I just feel I am more and more convinced
that
every minute that somebody from within invited Jeffrey Goldberg in.
So we have a
I'm
skunk.
just convinced by that. Yep.
We have a bad actor
to embarrass them.
So
that's my theory.
So somebody who's not Waltz, Hegseth, it's somebody else.
Well, because first of all,
there weren't that many people on the Signal chat.
First of all, Greg, first and foremost, those people that you just named, the biggity bigs, it's their aide. So even that's what the one storyline, and we still haven't gotten to the bottom of this, is it was somebody's aide who may have inadvertently done this. But Walls had said, this is not in our contacts. How did this get in there?
I don't think Hegseth said that. I think he said that his job was to keep everybody abreast of the situation.
Well,
Waltz said that.
Here, I've got the comments.
Said it in the interview.
So Hegseth tweeted this yesterday. He said, so let me get this straight. This is Pete Hegseth on X. The Atlantic released the so-called war plans, and those plans include no names, no targets, no locations, no units, no routes, no sources, no methods, and no classified information. Those are some really S-word war plans. Rhymes with pity. This only proves one thing, according to Hegseth, that Jeff Goldberg has never seen a war plan or, quote, an attack plan, as he now calls it. Not even close. As I type this, my team and I are traveling the Indopacom region, meeting with commanders and talking to troops. These are the guys who make real war plans. We continue to do our job while the media continues, blah, blah, blah. So now you have, and everybody's in their own corner on this, which again is why I say some people think it's a big story, it's a small story, or it's not a story at all. One person says it's time to call the Atlantic's bluff, charge Goldberg with espionage for failing to identify and asking to be removed from a text group that he wasn't authorized to be on in the first place.
Yeah, he should have removed himself from it.
This guy says, watch how fast he backpedals from actually receiving any classified war planning. Then you have the complete opposite. Somebody says, Pete, you handed out a minute-by-minute striking timeline, including F-18 launch windows, drone targets, and Tomahawk deployments, like you were texting brunch plans. You literally said target terrorist is at his known location, and now you're pretending none of this happened, blaming journalists for quoting you verbatim. So, look, what I try to do is I try to get down to the nuts and the bolts, because I've seen so many people, guys that I like on social media, people that I don't even know of, that have tried to do all these mental gymnastics in defense of it or challenging it. Ask yourself these questions. And I know we've got more information that has come out, so some of these questions have been answered. But from Jump Street, if you looked at this and you tried to peel the onion back one layer at a time, here's what I would have said if I was Trump behind closed doors to anybody that was involved in this. Number one, did you have Jeffrey Goldberg's number? It's a yes or no answer, right?
And Waltz said multiple times in the past few days he did not have him. He did not have his number. He does not have his number in his contacts.
So there's your answer.
Mike Waltz has repeatedly said that.
Okay. Number two, if you did have it, or whoever did have it, whoever sent this, why did you have Jeffrey Goldberg's number? Explain that to me. Number three, did you intend to text and include Jeffrey? If yes, explain. If no,
they've said no.
Who did you mean to send anyway? Because your fingers were operating. So there was an intent to include somebody. if it's not Goldberg, who did you intend to include? Your fingers don't just move by accident. There's something in your brain that says, move my fingers, right?
By the way,
that doesn't happen by accident.
By the way, I know Walt said that he doesn't know him. He doesn't have him in his contact, even though there's pictures of them standing together. That being aside, you can take pictures with somebody and not know them. So I take that at face value. But a reporter found Walt's Venmo account, and you know how when you Venmo somebody, you can make it public. In his Venmo account was Breonna Keeler from CNN, was an MSNBC producer. So this whole thing where it's like, I don't speak to left-wing journalists. I mean,
he's got plenty of contacts.
They're in your Venmo account.
Right.
So
again,
allegedly.
And my stance
but
was
is Goldberg.
My stance was that Waltz should be fired.
A CNN reporter is not Goldberg.
That's true, but it's still the same team.
Yeah, but there was not. Here's the whole thing. So a few different issues. My issue is not because I think Hegseth is right. When he put out that tweet yesterday, I was like, good for you. No targets, no locations, no units, no routes, no sources. Nobody put in harm's way.
And a successful mission.
This is ridiculous, and it was a totally successful mission.
Correct.
And by the way, under the Biden administration, which, as we've repeatedly reported, Biden delisted the Houthis and others, or Houthis. I don't say Houthis because you think I talk about Houthis and the Blowfish.
I only want to be with you.
Right. But Biden delisted them as a terrorist organization. Yeah. They attacked the U.S. Reported 174 times.
Yep.
So this was a successful mission to shut them down, and I think they've been successful at it.
Yep.
And so the media is wrong to not report that because that's significant.
And this is where this is the last 2 points, and it's all media driven for me as far as these 2 points I'm going to make. With everything in this administration under a constant microscope, this is where you do have to be more careful. And this is a self-inflicted, I would say, minor wound, because honestly, the mainstream media, seriously, they're looking for things to criticize Trump for. You know who's probably pretty happy with a lot of this the last couple of days, if you got him off the record? Elon Musk. I know his Tesla dealerships are still being attacked, but have you heard the word Elon Musk mentioned by the mainstream media the last 3 days? He's almost been forgotten about.
So Newman Price on the YouTube chat says, Dawn, they're missing that maybe none of them added Goldberg,
That's what I've been saying.
Which in my opinion is scarier. Because a 64-year-old reporter from the Atlantic can hack into Signal, then we have bigger problems.
I don't think he hacked.
Then we have bigger problems.
I don't think he hacked. This is what I've been saying. What I'm saying is that it's feasible that somebody from the inside invited Goldberg, made him think he was invited by whoever, but that it was, my theory on this, it was somebody from the inside, a never-Trumper. Think Vindman, okay? So Goldberg, he thinks he's invited. Everybody from the administration is I don't know this guy. I didn't invite him. Who'd invited him? Yeah. I believe they're gonna figure out that the reason that there's trouble with this encrypted app is not the app itself. It's the other applications you use, and it depends on your device, not an Apple phone, not an iPhone, for example.
Okay.
So there's that. They were also reporting all kinds of crazy stuff that, this was coming from Russia, and Steve Witkoff. Well, Witkoff left his phone at home when he went. So there's just a lot to look into here.
I agree. 855-839-1210. Time for a Thursday edition of What's on the Cut Sheet.
What's on the Cut Sheet?
What's on the Cut Sheet on this Thursday? Sponsored by Meineke. When you step on your brakes, if you hear a squeal or a grinding noise, don't wait. Take your car to your locally owned and operated Meineke, and their expert technicians will diagnose the problem. Find a location near you at Meineke.com. That's Meineke.com. Thank you, Meineke, for sponsoring the ever-important Thursday edition of What's on the Cut Sheet, streaming live on YouTube, youtube.com/1210WPHT. Please join us over there right now. Stop what you're doing. Join us over on YouTube, youtube.com/1210WPHT. Hit the like and subscribe buttons while you're there. Very important to do that, please.
Do it. Do it now.
Do it now. All right, let's kind of go through some of the audio for what we were just discussing, starting with 19. Pete Hegseth, Dawn reported some of the stuff that he said, but let's play a little bit of this. He was in Honolulu, Hawaii yesterday.
Mm.
Well,
nobody's texting war plans. Well, I noticed this morning, out came something that doesn't look like war plans. And as a matter of fact, they even changed the title to attack plans because they know it's not war plans. There's no units, no locations, no routes, no flight paths, no sources, no methods, no classified information. You know who sees war plans? I see them every single day. I looked at them this morning. I looked at attack plans this morning. You know who does attack plans and war plans? Men like that admiral right there, Paparo, for the Indo-Pacific, or Eric Kurilla, our general in CENTCOM. They do attack plans and war plans. And thank God we have those leaders who do it and do it well, and our enemies know it.
Look, I mean, it's just the lesson learned. Honestly, at the end of the day, you know, there was no casualties. This eventually is a story that will go away. I would have moved on from it if I was this administration quicker. But this is a very combative administration, which I like because, you know, Trump's not the kind of guy to back down to the media. I would just say one other thing. I saw this story. This is from Mediaite. This is where you have to be more careful with all this technology in this world that we live in. The headline is passwords of top U.S. security officials have been found online, and that includes Mike Waltz, Pete Hegseth, and Tulsi Gabbard. Private contact details amongst most importantly, security advisors to Donald Trump have been found on the internet. If you want to read the story, you can. It's very detailed. It's really not meant for the cut sheet, but just, again, button it up and don't make these mistakes again. That simple.
By the way, I've heard.
And there's no evidence that those are current passwords because I guarantee, you know how you go through and it goes, this password has been found in a breach. And so you change.
Well, if it's like the Odyssey emails with changing your passwords and then logging into the One Protect app and entering a code.
Exactly.
It's like getting into Fort Knox to check your work email. They should probably use the same system we have.
But they probably do. The point is, you could, this was Tulsi's password when? From 10 years ago, from 5 years ago, but she changed it. And by the way, even if you had it, it goes to her phone and she has to say, yes, I confirm it's me. So these stories are just, they just don't want to talk about the success of this administration. That's it.
White House Press Secretary Don Stensland.
Boom. No, I'm just trying to give the whole
Caroline
story.
Levitt. That's how you do the job.
I'm just trying to give the whole story.
Well, for those of you saying that nobody outside the Beltway cares about this, Dave Portnoy tweeted about this yesterday and did a long video on it. 10 million people viewed it. So, like, it is resonating with people outside the Beltway. I know that's the popular thing to say. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I'm not saying nobody cares. I'm seeing that all over Twitter. Is people are saying that nobody cares about this. Nobody cares about this. Yeah, maybe some people don't, but it is resonating through other channels, not just the politicos. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Marco Rubio spoke.
That's because the liberal media, it's like spaghetti. They just, we got a stick. It stuck a little bit. Ooh, let's headline with this every day and just hammer people. That's what that is. There's a lot of misinformation in this. I'm just saying.
I'm tired of this story.
And they're not looking at the real issues.
Can we get it back to Trump and DeSantis?
What are they?
We spent
2 more hours talking about Trump v. DeSantis.
What
are the real issues, Dawn?
At the heart of this.
Baby the deer.
Yeah, baby the deer.
Okay, let's get back to the deer talk.
I'd say that we all go find where they're holding at this undisclosed Pennsylvania location and bring baby back.
My favorite video, by the way, we're going to play it. That's why you have to get over to YouTube. My favorite video is Kristi Noem in an El Salvador prison. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And it's visual. You have to see it. It is amazing.
It doesn't matter why she's there.
No,
it doesn't matter what she
awesome,
says.
It is the greatest video. Let's keep going with this. Secretary Rubio.
Yeah, he broke his silence yesterday.
Came out. He's such a at least
he's doing a great job.
I give Hegseth and Walls and all these guys credit. At least they're sticking by. They're sticking to their guns, and they're like, nope, we did nothing wrong.
This is the stark contrast between handpicked Trump people like Hegseth and Waltz, who I like, and the guys like Marco Rubio that I'm not really fond of.
Roll this.
Obviously, someone made a mistake. Someone made a big mistake added a journalist.
Yep.
Nothing against journalists, but you ain't supposed to be on that thing. So they got on there and this happened. I've been, so I can speak to myself or my presence on it. I think my role, on it was, just speaking for my role, I contributed to it twice. I identified my point of contact, which is my chief of staff, and then later on, I think 3 hours after the White House's official announcements had been made, I congratulated the members of the team. I've been assured by the Pentagon and everyone involved that none of the information that was on there, though not intended to be divulged, obviously that was a mistake and that shouldn't have happened, and the White House is looking at it, but that none of the information on there at any point threatened the operation or the lives of our servicemen. And in fact, it was a very successful operation. It is an ongoing operation.
Yeah, which is what I led with when we started this conversation this morning, that this was a safe and well-executed operation, short of these messages.
Against terrorists.
Let me ask you this. Though,
Nobody, do you notice that nobody in like the so-called mainstream media says the operation against the terrorists was successful? Nobody says that.
Of course not. They don't care.
By the way, we've been bombing Yemen and the Houthis
what, really?
every month in 2024. Yes. That is an absolute fact. Every month, the Biden administration was bombing Yemen and the Houthis every month in 2024.
After they removed them on the terrorist list, though. I mean, you can't sit there and not call. You can't. It's funny how we selectively pick and choose how we define terrorism, right? Like we don't call that terrorism in the United States when bombs are placed at a Tesla dealership. We don't call it a terrorism when it's the Houthis. Remember, and I'm not one of these pro-war. So, by the way, Trump endorsed. Speaking of war, Lindsey Graham yesterday. So because Lindsey slurped him off. So now Trump is reciprocal favor. So I'm not one of these bomb anything that moves guys like that mutt Lindsey Graham in South Carolina. But I am all for whipping the Houthis, you know what? Because they're the aggressor. They're the ones that continually attack American interests to the tune, Dawn, would you say 174 times?
174 times.
Yes.
But in right when he got into office, I think it was like February.
Yeah.
When Biden got into office, first thing, no, they're not terrorists. Take them off the list.
Yeah. Well, but I was going to ask before we started this conversation, post-Rubio clip. Dawn, you're the journalist. I read a column. I'm trying to find it now. It wasn't Politico, but it was a mainstream website. I was browsing everything yesterday. And the crux of the article was, it's not the journalist's job to protect the government from their mistakes going public in regards to Goldberg. You've talked about it from a journalistic standpoint. What do you think? Is there a universal rule of thumb here for what the journalists should adhere to and how they should have handled this from the moment they were included?
I actually had this debate with my husband yesterday. So I believe that if you're a person of integrity and you are on a group chat that you realize was with top officials, that you would let yourself know. I've been really transparent about the fact I would have totally reached out to the big fish.
I would have too.
Which is Pete Hegseth.
I would have as well. Yep.
Secretary Hegseth, this is, so and so. I've been invited into this.
That is the correct thing to do.
So he could have done a better job by immediately, rescinding himself technically.
Well, no,
but it could have been worse, right? He could have ran with it pre-strike. Correct?
He never would have run with it.
Yes.
He never would have run with the story because you never, ever, as a journalist, want to impede a situation, even locally. Let's say locally, a police officer accidentally, and I do have a lot of police officers, right? They accidentally include me in some kind of a thing, or ICE, or whoever, whether it's state, national, whatever. I would never, ever.
Breaking news here. Wow.
No, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Even if they did, I would say, why am I on here? First of all, I would do it, as I've said, to get their trust and get a bigger story.
Agreed.
And I've done that. I cannot tell you how many times as far as that goes. You're going to get their trust forever because you're not going to make them look like an idiot. It's personal.
You are so right, because think about this story is big news this week, and by next week we're going to move on to something else.
Right.
Jeffrey Goldberg, you're 100% right, Dawn, could have used this to leverage himself and say, the next big scoop you get, I get first dibs. And that would ingratiate him with this administration to get more, because then they trust him. Right?
Yep. Well, especially Trump. I mean, Trump, if you throw Trump a bone, he will throw you a bone back.
Well, it's not Trump.
Well, yeah, I know.
I'm not saying Trump. I'm saying Pete Hegseth. Because guess what? 2 years down the road, when Secretary Hegseth is in a pissing match with whatever, Marco Rubio or Tulsi or whoever, and he just leaks to his friend who did him a favor, that old Jeffrey Goldberg, and leaks him a really juicy story about now somebody that's really causing him agita on the job. That's how those stories happen.
Yeah. Well, agita can be from too much alcohol as well, which I've had to deal with myself.
So let's hear from somebody brought up Caroline Leavitt. Let's hear from her. This is cut 15, Phil.
I think is this the one where
Here are the facts.
The facts.
The National Security Advisor has taken responsibility for this matter. And the National Security Council immediately said, alongside the White House counsel's office, that they are looking into how a reporter's number was inadvertently added to this messaging thread. We have said all along that no classified material was sent on this messaging thread. There were no locations, no sources or methods revealed, and there were certainly no war plans discussed. The Atlantic has even admitted this themselves. Their release of these internal messages validates the truth, which we have been saying all along. If this story proves anything, it proves that Democrats and their propagandists in the mainstream media know how to fabricate, orchestrate, and disseminate a misinformation campaign quite well. And there's arguably no one in the media who loves manufacturing and pushing hoaxes more than Jeffrey Goldberg. Goldberg is an anti-Trump hater. He is a registered Democrat. Goldberg's wife is also a registered Democrat and a big Democrat donor who used to work under who? Hillary Clinton. This is the same Jeffrey Goldberg who infamously lied about weapons of mass destruction to get us into the Iraq War, which cost trillions of dollars and thousands of American soldiers. And how else has Goldberg discredited himself? By absurdly claiming that President Trump was Vladimir Putin during the 2016 campaign. By peddling the Russia hoax that tried to hijack President Trump's first term. By inventing the suckers and losers hoax to help Joe Biden in the 2020 election. By peddling a hoax about President Trump involving Gold Star families to help Kamala Harris in the 2024 election, which our campaign at the time vigorously denied. Jeffrey Goldberg didn't care. There's more, but we don't have all day, and we can now add the Signal hoax to this very long list.
There's nothing that she said that's inaccurate there. I mean, I agree with a lot of it. Those are the themes of the Democrats. They like to take a molehill and make a mountain out of it, but still doesn't absolve the fact that somehow somebody was a little too loosey-goosey with their fingers. And again, I hope we get to the bottom of it, and I want that person fired. Absolutely gone. This was one of the most encouraging parts about Trump winning the second term for me, was because now he has a lay of the land in Washington. He can weed out all the rats, the weasels, and the skunks. And at least from my vantage point, it appears that there is still somebody in some circle, could be a low-level functionary, a staffer with an axe to grind. And I don't like that on either side, because I'm a big believer in being able to trust the people that you go to battle with every day, and they've got your back, you've got their back. If that's not the case, it doesn't matter if it's in sports, on the military, in the line of combat. You know, Pete Hegseth, he wants to trust when he's in combat who's next to him. You can't have these little skunks in your operation. Find this person and get rid of them.
In Weird Bedfellows, Fox's Jackie Heinrich and Caitlin Collins kind of teamed up against Caroline Leavitt. Let's start with Fox's Jackie Heinrich. This is cut 16. Roll, pal.
Go ahead, Jeff. Thank you, Caroline. So why aren't launch times on a mission strike classified?
Again, I would defer you to the Secretary of Defense's statement he put out this morning. There were various reasons he listed, things that were not included in that messaging thread that were not classified. And again, going back to the American public, do you trust the Secretary of Defense, who was nominated for this role, voted by the United States Senate into this role, who has served in combat, honorably served our nation in uniform? Or do you trust Jeffrey Goldberg, who is a registered Democrat and an anti-Trump sensationalist reporter? This president and this national security team are putting our national security and the American people first. We are restoring American strength around the world, and the results of this operation speak for themselves.
Putting aside Jeffrey Goldberg, though, just for American service members who are going to have to carry out these missions in the future, what I guess the message that's coming from the response to all this that we're hearing is that nothing sensitive happened. And I guess the logical conclusion of that is that if these messages had gone out publicly prior to the launch that wouldn't have been a risk to service members. I don't know that they're comfortable with that. So can you explain, had these messages been published, would the plans have moved forward? Would the launch have still taken off?
What I can tell you is that the President, as the Commander-in-Chief of our United States Armed Forces, and Secretary Pete Hegseth, who is an incredible man and a warfighter himself, take the lives of our American service members with the utmost responsibility, and they would never do anything intentionally to put their lives at risk. And again, they are working hard on that every single day, and we are protecting our service members while also restoring peace throughout this globe. It's something the previous administration has not done. And I would just add one more point. We are not going to be lectured about national security and American troops by Democrats and the mainstream media who turned the other cheek when the Biden administration, because of their incompetence, left 13 service members dead in Afghanistan, and not a single person in the previous administration was held accountable for that botched withdrawal. Joe Biden said, in fact, it was a great operation. That is despicable. It's unacceptable to this president and this Secretary of Defense. The National Security Advisor has taken responsibility for this inadvertent number being added to the messaging thread. But above all, we take the lives of our troops, safety, security, prosperity around the globe with the utmost seriousness.
You know, the easiest way to get down to what was classified, what's not classified, is you don't take the word of Jeffrey Goldberg. You don't take the word of an administration or a defense secretary. You get a military expert, independent, almost like a third-party arbitrator. You lay out all the copy from all the texts, and you say, all right, based on your expertise, what is normally classified versus unclassified? I'd love to have that person speak.
And then right after Jackie Heinrich was Caitlin Collins, cut 17 here.
One on a follow-up on something you just said, but since we have these messages released, and you said that the president has now personally reviewed them, at the chat, at one point, Pete Hegseth wrote 14-15 strike drones on target, and in all caps, he said, this is when the first bombs will definitely drop. Does the president feel that he was misled by his national security advisors, whoever it was that told him there was no classified information in there, now that he's seen these messages?
I've now been asked and answered this question 3 times by the both of you, and I've given you my answer. The president feels the same today as he did yesterday.
Okay,
Philip.
and on my follow-up on what you had just said.
Go ahead, Philip.
You girls are grounded.
I have a follow-up on something you just said, though, Caroline. That's
Caitlin,
regarding
I'm not
Jeffrey
taking
Goldsberg.
your follow-up. Philip, go ahead.
Caitlin, I'm not taking your follow-up. That's as good as Trump 2 days ago when he said, I didn't call on you. Look, I give Heinrich credit. It's a lot of people don't like Jackie Heinrich on Fox because she does do some pushback to Republicans. I like it. I think as a journalist,
she's not a bootlicker.
That gives her credibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I can't stand Collins. I call
Well,
her
we know
Miss
everybody
Snippy
knows
Short.
where Caitlin Collins is coming from. It's more impactful when it's a Fox reporter doing it. I mean, in my opinion.
But you got to have that, right?
Yeah.
Like CNN has Scott Jennings. Fox has Jackie Heinrich.
All right, can I play my favorite clip of the day? This is visual. YouTube. YouTube.com/@1210WPHT if you want to see this. Kristi Noem.
This is so good.
In an El Salvador prison with all of these horrendous criminals behind her. And it is like they're all looking at her like she's lunch.
These are soulless, lifeless individuals.
Yeah.
She made their day.
100%.
In more ways than one.
Yeah. One of them is because they're all in their their boxer shorts and stuff. One of them is not going to go home happy.
They don't get to see this too often in the joint in El Salvador.
This is I love this. Like she's being ripped online for this, and like the snowflakes that are ripping her, like go F yourself. Like this is amazing.
Yeah, these are probably the same people that are saying they had no problem with these scumbags being in our country.
These are hardened criminals and gang members. And I hope, I like the fact that they're all crowded into one cell, too.
On top of each other.
It should be lower, too. And, every once in a while, they should have, in Star Wars with the when they're in the trash compactor and it just starts closing like that? That's what I want for this. A little trash compactor that just every day gets a little closer and a little closer and a little closer.
All their heads are tattooed. I mean, these are the most just awful humans.
YouTube.com/@1210WPHT. Make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe buttons while you're there. While every other pretender to the throne goes, oh, let's do YouTube now. We were the originals. We were the OGs. Just remember that. Roll it.
Here at CCOT today and visiting this facility.
It's amazing.
And first of all, I want to thank El Salvador and their president for their partnership with the United States of America to bring our terrorists here and to incarcerate them and have consequences for the violence that they have perpetuated in our communities. I also want everybody to know, if you come to our country illegally, this is one of the consequences you can face. First of all, do not come to our country illegally. You will be removed and you will be prosecuted.
Yeah.
But know that this facility is one of the tools in our toolkit that we will use if you commit crimes against the American people.
I love it.
Esa chica está bien buena. That's how you say that's one hot chick in Espanol.
A+, Christina.
Yeah. Can we zoom in?
You can kill as many dogs as you want to. I'm fine with it. That is an A+. That is an A+ video right there.
That's right.
But think about what she's doing. I mean, it's brilliant. I don't know if she thought of it or who's on her team.
Great marketing.
But it's incredible because think about the self-deportation that they're trying to do, because the Trump administration is trying to not spend our tax dollars to deport people because it's very expensive. And so by traveling there and shooting this video with these caged guys in the backdrop, you know what I mean? This is the best PR branding video, and that's why I think our great brand manager Greg Stocker is celebrating it.
They are stacked in there like products in an Amazon warehouse.
It's amazing. I'm dead serious. Yeah. Star Wars, the original thing. Nick never saw it.
No, I'm not a Star Wars guy.
He has no idea.
Right.
He has
Not a
no
Star
idea
Wars
what I'm
guy.
talking about. But they all get stuck in a trash compactor. And the trash compactor is closing, and they have to get out. Of course they get out because they're the good guys.
Right.
These are the bad guys. Every day, it should just inch closer and closer and closer. They never know what day they're going to meet their doom.
Well,
they never know.
This is like when the Shredder in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles falls into the back of the trash compactor.
Yeah.
And it closes on him and crushes him.
Yeah. I love this.
Look at these guys, all with their head shaved.
Yep.
All with tattoos on their head, their face, their entire body inked up, white shorts. And if I had by the way, if you ever get the chance, not that anybody pays for CNN Plus, but you can get it on CNN's website, or the video's probably on YouTube now. They did like a deep video dive, investigative journalist of the El Salvador prison. I mean, they get 1 hour, they get 30 minutes a day of out of their cell, and they're in like these group stretches, and they're wearing masks. There's one right there's a guy right in the back wearing a COVID mask.
Look at that photo. I love it.
I mean, look at that moron with the flimsy mask on. You think he's worried about COVID instead of the other 800 that are going to probably slit his throat.
They have no idea what's going on. She's doing a video.
Yep. They're all just like, man, this is what we're missing on the outs.
Oh, God.
By the way, speaking of the guy in this freeze frame picture here with the mask on, apparently there was a reporter yesterday at the White House that asked Trump a question while wearing a mask.
Yeah. Oh, we have that.
We have that, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Let's do a little mask pivot here.
This is cut. Where is that? Cut 24, Phil.
The European Union has really education control to the states. How would you handle it if a state like California were to put in place education policy?
You know, I haven't seen a mask in so long. You're wearing a mask. So nice of you. I haven't seen anybody wearing a mask in a long time. It's good. You feel more comfortable, right? Good. That's good. So go ahead.
Total troll. So I don't know who that reporter was, but obviously had a mask on. She asked about education, and she talked about California. Odds are, I'll make an assumption here, she hasn't taken the mask off in 5 years.
That's amazing.
But he's so good.
It is.
That was excellent.
Oh, it's nice to see. I haven't seen those in a long time.
You feel good, right?
You feel safer?
Okay, you be you.
Makes you feel more comfortable, right? To be in this.
We just want you to feel comfortable.
You know, I do truly believe he's pissed behind the scenes about the whole signal thing. But I will say publicly, in these settings, whether he's at that desk or the round table where they have these conversations, and this is not an editing issue by Phil. He is so low key and low energy with the microphone compared to everybody else around him. He is such a sage individual at this point, the second time around. He reminds me of the veteran quarterback that's been through the battles, has been through the wars, the ups, the downs, the 3-game win streaks, the 4-game losing streaks, and almost nothing is going to agitate him publicly. He is, and that clip right there illustrates it.
Yep.
He has figured out, and he figured it out a long time ago, but he is now knows how to handle every single thing that they can throw at him. And he's just sitting back like, I'm 78. You know what? I've been shot in the ear. There's nothing you can do to get under my skin.
Sharon Kennedy wants a replay. I think we should give it to her.
Let's do it. Let's run it back. Let's go to the tape.
If you want to return education control to the states, how would you handle it if a state like California were to put in place education policy?
You know, I haven't seen a mask in so long. You're wearing a mask. So nice of you. I haven't seen anybody wearing a mask in a long time. It's good. You feel more comfortable, right? Good. That's good. So go ahead.
He should take the Sharpie out and then sign it. Sign the mask.
That kind of extemporaneous, I mean, it's what talk radio is. You know what I mean? Like it's just so quick. It's so quick.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday, the big news there yesterday, why everybody was there, was he said that he's going to be doing 25% tariffs on all cars that are not made in the United States. Phil, this is cut 22, I believe. I think I have the audio here. Roll it.
And we're going to...
Here, wait. Let's start it over so we can sync this up better. Ready, go.
And we're going to charge countries for doing business in our country and taking our jobs, taking our wealth, taking a lot of things that they've been taking over the years. They've taken so much out of our country, friend and foe, and frankly, friend has been oftentimes much worse than foe. And this is very modest. What we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff. We start off with a 2.5% base, which is what we were at, and we go to 25%. And basically, as you know, and as you've been seeing, not reporting as accurately as it should be reported because it's a massive story. Business is coming back to the United States so that they don't have to pay tariffs. And I think also because of November 5th, the election, they're very happy. AI is coming back to levels that nobody's ever seen before. It's a new, sort of a new business, I guess, when you think about it. But it's plants are going up all over the United States, and many of them have already been started. We're getting early electricity taken care of. We're getting permits very quickly for them, and we're going to make their life very happy. They're coming in with tens of billions of dollars. Individual plants will cost 10, 15, even $20 billion.
So the details that you need to know, these will go into place April 2nd, although the experts say the impact of the Trump tariffs will not become clear until the end of the fourth quarter. So we're really not going to see the way this impacts us from a bottom line standpoint, good or bad, until, actually I should say bad, until the holidays. Good is these companies all of a sudden, they start doing what Hyundai did by building that plant in Louisiana. And here's the thing, you know, some people, the mainstream media, they're going to freak out about this. Oh my God, the cost of a car. Well, if you're not in the market for a car for the next 4 years, it's not going to impact you, right? Like if you just leased or bought a car and you're somebody that keeps a car for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, whatever it might be, you're not going to be impacted by it. The new buyers will be, but that's not going to be everybody. So again, short-term pain for long-term gain. We'll see how it plays out. And, you know, I think Rolls-Royce is out there. Not that many people buy Rolls-Royces or can afford them, but they also kind of bent the knee. So we'll see what manufacturers are out there that decide to say, you know what, $20 billion? Okay, that's better than 25%. Let's go America first. We'll see.
By the way, streaming live on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Road Warrior who called out the fact that there might be some AI bots on the chat.
Oh, the hell you say.
So
yes, he tweeted that last night, right?
He did. And the more I'm seeing some of these comments from these people, I think he might be correct.
Yes.
Really?
Like Baxter,
yes. Baxter, can you if you're a real human, say yes, Greg, I'm a real human. Just write that right now.
Yeah.
Hi, Baxter.
Hey, Baxter. Good dog name as well. We got Buzz, Baxter, and Buddy.
Like, I know Patty C is real. I know Joe Beermaster's real. Magalmush, of course.
Mhm.
Richard H. Shores, yes. Jeremy Burke, we've met him. I know he's a real guy. Carl Mayer's been on from the beginning. Sharon, I know, is real. Shafe, I know, is real. I'm just.
Yeah. Road Warrior says, I don't know if you saw, this was the tweet from 11 hours ago. I don't know if you saw a Baxter on the chat lately.
Baxter wrote Greg, LOL.
Okay.
But it appears to be AI. Was on from 3 to 7, and man, it learned a lot from the morning show till afternoon. Which, by the way, I mean, I love the fact that somebody that doesn't like us would spend 11 straight hours in a YouTube chat room. That's just great. I mean, you look at the way we're having success on this show and any other show on this station. Our haters are also the most tuned in people as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can hate it. Just listen. That's all we ask you to do.
Mhm.
The most listened to radio station, the longest listened to radio station in Philadelphia.
And I love the fact that the
thank you for
haters,
that.
yeah,
Now everybody's writing, I'm real.
Yeah, I'm real too. I love the fact that the haters hang on to every word because my
Absolutely.
daughters and wife, they don't hear a word I say.
It's true. It's true.
So I get my ego stroke here, not at home.
Cut 25 here, Phil. Talking about the China tariffs. And he brought up something that I think is interesting because this was a big story when he first took office, and then it kind of went away. The TikTok deal.
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
Well,
story?
he made reference to it. Roll 25.
China's going to have to play a role in that, possibly, in the form of an approval, maybe. And I think they'll do that. Maybe I'll give them a little reduction in tariffs or something to get it done, because every point in tariff is worth more money than TikTok. If you think every point, tariff is a much bigger world, and TikTok is big, but every point in tariffs is worth more than TikTok. So, in order to get China to do, maybe I'd give them a reduction in tariffs, as an example. Sounds like something I'd do.
Sounds like a fair plan. Again, my stance on the whole TikTok thing is I don't want to see it banned. But also, I'll say this. The pivot on TikTok is fascinating. And I'm not referring to Trump liking it or Trump utilizing it. You just think about Republicans in general. I gave you those data points a few weeks ago from, I think it was CNN, or it was some mainstream media publication. Republicans and conservatives, I really thought TikTok was a left-wing playground. It is not. I totally misread the room on that one. I remember maybe not 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, Vivek Ramaswamy was urging Republicans to get on TikTok and utilize it. And they did. TikTok was a factor this past election. You got Barron and Bo Loudon and the, as the left wing calls now, the young tech bros. All of a sudden, it's a negative slant when it's a Republican that utilizes technology. The tech bros.
I know we're going to get to the Snow White story coming up later on, but I wanted to play this. I found this on one of the Twitter sites. I'm not sure which one, but
we can do it now as long as Phil has that graphic for when we get done playing this.
So this is, yes, I know this. I know this is a parody, but it's hysterical. So Disney used CGI instead of hiring real actors, real dwarves,
little people.
So this guy.
So let me get this straight.
Not supposed to say
we've gone from banning the word midget to banning
can't say that.
to banning the word dwarf.
Yeah, you can't. David told me this.
Well, this guy, David, who's going to become a Kayal and Company contributor. This gentleman is standing outside the Snow White movie theater, and he's holding a sign that says "Hire real dwarfs." So he's saying it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean DML, dwarfs lives matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I butchered
BLM.
So there's a protest. There's a protest going on because they didn't hire real little people. They instead did CGI.
Very anti-inclusive.
So this guy went outside of a movie theater and protested. This is amazing. YouTube.com/@1210WPHT if you want to see this video. Roll it, Phil.
It's like nowadays you can protest about just about anything. Well, why don't I begin a protest about the fact that Disney decided to use CGI dwarfs? Not even the real thing. We could have gotten hired. We could have gotten money for something.
No, don't do that. No, don't.
They're so ashamed of the CGI dwarfs. They don't even have it on the first flyer. Well, It's time. It's time to make a movement.
Now you wash the dishes.
He's in the theater where there's nobody, by the way. There's nobody in the theater here. It's amazing. By the way,
was that Hornswoggle?
He kind of looks like Wee Man.
Yeah,
from
he does,
from
Jackass.
Jackass.
We have Randy Newman.
Yeah.
Should be.
It's funny to see these videos of people taking videos inside the movie theater for Snow White, and there's literally nobody in there.
It's unbelievable. Phil, if you have the Instagram post, this is a great story. So Snow White's producer, Mark Platt's Nepo baby son, Jonah, unleashed an explosive tirade against the woke Rachel Zegler on Instagram. So apparently, the Nepo baby that works at Disney, and his dad's a bigwig for Walt Disney, flew to New York City to reprimand Rachel Zegler after she was exercising her political viewpoints publicly. To which Nepo baby boy responds saying, "You really want to do this? Yeah, my dad, the producer of enormous piece of Disney IP with hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, had to leave his family to go fly across the country to reprimand his 20-year-old employee for dragging her personal politics into the middle of promoting the movie for which she signed a multi-million-dollar contract to get paid and do publicity for. This is called adult responsibility and accountability, and her actions clearly hurt the film's box office. Free speech does not mean you're allowed to say whatever you want in your private employment world without repercussions. Tens of thousands of people worked on that film, and she hijacked the conversation for her own immature desires at the risk of the colleagues and crew and blue-collar workers who depend on that movie to be successful. Narcissism is not something to be coddled or encouraged."
Why is this guy being called out? He's right in everything he said.
He's 1,000% spot on. Rachel Zegler, with her woke politics publicly coming out, blew this thing to smithereens. And I don't know if people know the backstory to how Snow White took off and Walt Disney took off, but I was reading a little bit about it last night. Walt Disney, the man, mortgaged basically his entire family fortune in the 1920s, early 1930s. And when they created the original Snow White in 1937, with it adjusted for inflation today and today's economic standards, generated $4 billion in revenue. That's billion with a B, $4 billion. And you know what the thing is that's so annoying about this? And I can only say this from the standpoint of looking at it from the outside. I love how you have people that are high up in these high-ranking positions that go into a well-established, well-oiled machine that they had nothing to do with the success of, and they drive it into the ground because they're morons. I mean, think about that. The people like the Bob Igers and whoever runs these big companies, there's very few jobs out there like that. And they get in a position where all they have to do, Bud Light, Disney, you name it, all these American institutions, just don't screw it up because it's not broke. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And then you interject your politics, and you're going to end up. And by the way, they spent $270 million to make the movie. They're spending over $250 million to market it. So it's over $500 million. And their opening gate in America domestically was $43 million. They're going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars because Rachel Zegler is AOC in Hollywood. End rant. And I don't care about that. By the way, my girls asked to go see this, and I'll take them to see it.
Oh, they did?
Yes, they asked me last night. They said, "Daddy, you know what movie we want to go see?"
Oh, boy.
And I immediately knew what it was because they saw Wicked in November. They saw Moana 2 at Christmas. And I said, "Which one's that, honey?" She goes, "I want to go see Snow White." I'm like, "Okay, we'll go see it." See, I'm not a bad guy.
Take a little video of you.
I'm gonna film the auditorium and see how many people there are.
And you have to tell us. You have to go to a place where they have the bar.
Oh, that's
right. So we can buy you a drink.
That's always the first stipulation. You think I'm drinking the 40-ounce Mr. Pibb?
We should take a break here, but we have so much more. We haven't even gotten into the stuff from PBS. I know we got into it in the 6 o'clock hour, but for those of you late risers, where have you been?
We start at 6 a.m.
Exactly, we start at 6 a.m. Plus, we have the Colorado House legislatures were trying to pass a bill. You'll never guess what they were doing instead of listening and passing a bill. You think your kids are bad? You have to see this video.
Oh, boy.
YouTube.com/@1210WPHT. We will show that, plus all the PBS, NPR defunding stuff on the other side. And a female police officer sits in her cop car as a citizen is taken out and dragged by a gang of people and gotten the crap kicked out of her.
And doesn't do anything.
We'll have all of that on
Okay.
the other side.
Couple of things first, though. The 8 o'clock hour, which we are halfway through, is brought to you by Natural Lawn of America. From organic fertilizer to safer weed and insect controls, Natural Lawn makes sure that your lawn thrives naturally season after season. Call 800-FREE-SEED now. From free seed to, well, it's not free, but they are pretty good rates. Mercedes-Benz, I can't believe this, at Piazza Auto, with their 3 Mercedes-Benz dealership locations, there's a couple of Benz models out there that are actually cheaper than my Ridgeline. I didn't think that was possible, but it's true. And the selection, it is extensive at Mercedes-Benz of Westchester, Wilmington, and Atlantic City, where they combine luxury with performance across the full line of sedans, SUVs, coupes, roadsters, and more. From the powerful engine of the 2025 C-Class sedan to the impressive towing capacity of the 2025 GLE SUV. You're going to find a luxury vehicle that meets your every need. And you can schedule a test drive today behind the wheel of your dream Mercedes-Benz, or you can shop Mercedes-Benz of Westchester, Wilmington, and Atlantic City. Stop on by or go to the website, PiazzaPremiumAutos.com. That's PiazzaPremiumAutos.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text MIND to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text MIND to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text MIND to 200-300. That's MIND to 200-300. MIND to 200-300.
Here's Bill Spadia with President Donald Trump.
Mr. President, as you fight through the corrupt media, the corrupt criminal justice system, face all kinds of battles, how important is it for you to know that we've got your back, no matter how your enemies are coming at you?
It's important, and you've had my back from the beginning. I know all about it. That's why I'm talking to you. I turned down plenty of requests, I will tell you, but you've had my back, and I really appreciate it.
We have a great leader in Washington. Now we need one in Trenton. As governor, Bill Spadia will dig in to fix our state. He'll take on and beat the Trenton politicians who have rigged the system for themselves. This is our chance to rebuild New Jersey for all of us. Republican Bill Spadia for governor. Patriots, it's time.
Paid for by Rebuilding New Jersey PAC, 9 Bethel Road, 1044, Somers Point, New Jersey, 08244. Not authorized or made with the cooperation or prior consent of, or in any consultation with, or at the request or suggestion of any candidate, or any person or committee acting on behalf of any candidate.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause. Brought to you by the Labor and Energy Alliance this Saturday night at 6. Find out about the important issues that will affect you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday night at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Free speech lives here. With Dom Giordano weekdays noon till 3 on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
Kayal and Company, in and out of content, in and out of breaks, in and out of the cut sheet, in and out of great radio with great advertisers, something that NPR and PBS have no clue about. You missed the big take earlier this morning. Well, first of all, you know what time we start at.
What
so
time
don't
is
be
that?
late.
Yeah.
We start at.
We start at 6 a.m.
All right, and there will be a test at the end of the show, so paying attention for all 4 hours is required if you plan to pass the exam. As we continue, because as we know, Greg Stalker loves a soft push, and he always gives good cut sheet.
By the way, Tony Pinch writes, watching on my 55-inch TV, Nick's head is blinding me. Dawn looks even better, life size, and Greg, well, Greg is just Greg. Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Johnny.
Make a promo out of that.
Yeah.
There you go. 55-inch TV, which, by the way, remember, back in the day when the flat screens that were put up on your wall were really like kind of the new thing. I remember when we got married, we got our first Samsung 58-inch, and it was like $2,700. My wife and I were at Sam's Club over in Willow Grove a couple of weeks ago buying all of our bulk stuff, like waters and Gatorades and things like that. And, they have their electronics section. You can get like an 85-inch flat screen now for like $800.
True.
That's remarkable, isn't it?
It's absolutely true.
I guess nobody watches television anymore. Everybody's watching something on a device.
Yeah.
85 inches. I'm getting one for the man cave, by the way. I told the wife that.
Ooh.
I said, $800? It's like $1 an inch or something. It's good. We're good.
$1 an inch.
Vice President J.D. Vance was on the firing range at Quantico. Did you guys see this? Him firing this machine gun?
I saw the jacket he had on.
It's pretty badass.
Mm-hmm. It's like me at King Shooters.
I was just going to ask you if you did any of this at King Shooters. You wouldn't have the aim as J.D. Vance
God,
does.
no. And King Shooters, God love them. They would never let me shoot one of those.
In all seriousness, this is definitely in my lifetime, but this is the first vice president that could do this, correct? I mean,
yes. Well, Kamala Harris,
certainly not Kamala.
She couldn't tie her shoes.
Who was before her? Mike Pence, no. Who was Obama's?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, no.
Can you
What about
imagine
Kamala?
Joe?
Yeah.
Vice President Kamala Harris.
Who else? Dick Cheney, no.
No.
Who was
Dan Quayle?
Who was Well, Dan Quayle had that yeah. Oh no, that was Dukakis that had them. Dan Quayle couldn't either.
G.W. Bush or H.W. Bush?
H.W. Bush. No, he was like a CIA he was like a spook, wasn't he?
He was in Dallas the day Kennedy got whacked.
I don't think he was. All right, watch this video. YouTube.com/@1210WPHT. J.D. Vance firing a machine gun. Yeah. It's awesome.
Give it to me. Empty another clip.
We need to do this at King Shooters. The three of us.
Yeah.
I doubt they have a full military grade like howitzer.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Hey, what? It's pretty well stable considering how powerful it is.
Well, that's the beauty of the howitzer.
Yeah. Look at that. See, if I was in the military, that would not be the role that I would pursue. I'd much rather be a sniper. I'd love to be, hidden, camouflaged, laying way back in a window or in a hole in the ground and knock somebody out from like 3/4 of a mile away.
By the way, streaming live on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT if you want to see this video. So this is cut 30, Phil. This female police officer was suspended after she sat in her car while a violent mob attacked a driver in the middle of the road. This incident happened. You can play the video, Phil, while I read the thing because it's just video, Nick. If you want to describe it.
And the cop's sitting there with the lights on, and there's another vehicle to the left of the officer's vehicle. Multiple cars 8 yards in front.
These groups of savages are literally beating a guy half to death.
Right. 7-on-1, kicking, stomping.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is obviously like a Ring doorbell video or something that we're seeing.
And I was going to ask you guys about this before we will comment on the police aspect. I'm seeing a lot of these videos, and again, I don't know that it's happening in a great frequency, but you see these big brawls in classrooms, and teachers don't even bother to interject. They just let it happen, or they pick up the little phone that's in the classroom and call for whoever. But when you're a police officer, and I get it, this defund the police era has a lot of cops thinking, boy, all of a sudden I'll be the bad guy, I'll be the villain here for doing my job. But you are the police here. You either have to step in, or although maybe, I don't know, did you say it's a female officer?
A female police officer is suspended after she sat in her car while that violent mob attacked a driver in the middle of the road.
Did she radio for backup?
The incident happened last week in Miami, Florida. According to NBC6, the man stopped his car in the middle of the road in front of the police car. He then got out of the car to talk to the officer. On his way back to the car, he was jumped by thugs who beat him with a bike and demolished his car. The female officer stayed in her car while the man was brutally beaten. It wasn't until other officers arrived, which you see in the video. Play the video again, Phil. You see the other officers arrive. It wasn't until the other officers arrived that the female cop got out of her car and walked over. The members of the Miami Police Department understand and take great pride in upholding the responsibility to protect and serve our community. We must act for the betterment of our community, said the Miami police chief.
So it looks like that white SUV in the beginning of the video. You don't see the police markings and decals, but it does look like an officer gets out. To me, if I'm in that situation, I'm at least, obviously, first calling for backup. Secondly, getting out, at least pulling out my firearm to maybe de-escalate it, and hopefully everybody sees, oh, no, officer with a gun, maybe we should stop. I don't know. What's the next step until the officers get there for backup? Do you tase them?
So let me just ask you something, just going back to the other video that you were showing with the vice president with the machine gun as well as the howitzer. I don't know that you showed the howitzer one because I was looking at, but in any event, imagine if she has a machine gun like that and she just takes aim and just and wipes those guys out.
Yep.
First of all, she would get like life in prison probably.
Well, Ben Crump would have a big payday coming.
But I will say they wouldn't be doing that anymore.
Yep.
All you need is one incident.
So let me ask you a question. She's a female police officer. She sees a gang like that attacking this guy. Does she get involved? Is she supposed to get involved? I don't know. What's the protocol?
Yeah, that's a good question. I know we have a lot of police officers listening. What is the protocol when you know you're? And by the way, if you're a man as well, I mean, if you're a man, you're still outnumbered 7-1. It's not going to work in your favor either.
The male police officers did jump in, so they did try and jump in to help this guy.
Okay.
I just think she was scared.
Yes,
I think she was scared out of her mind. And I think that, officially, I mean, she was fired, right?
She was, yes.
Oh, she was fired. Okay.
Suspended. Excuse me. She was suspended.
I mean,
she'll be fired, probably.
This individual, so they're saying it's disgraceful, but she will have a lawyer and the union will probably, they'll evaluate this. But the shame of it is, I just think despite the training or whatever, I think she was scared.
Yeah.
And so let's think about this. All the cops, the men who've been accused of, being men, this goes to being male, right?
Yep.
Then they're often, in this city in Philadelphia, they're accused of being too rough or overreach or this or that. But it's kind of goes back to that movie line of, you want me on that wall.
Yeah.
You need me on that wall.
You need me on that wall. And, I've had in college, we had this like campus rapist. I'll never forget it. And I called 911 and there was a guy trying to break into the window. It was terrifying. And this huge cop, I'm from a family of big men. You guys, this cop must have been 6'7". It was this huge cop comes to my door and he says, ma'am, open the, and I hugged that off. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I was so glad that this officer had come to my door. And so, and as a woman, I say this, look, I support, of course, every qualified woman to do this, but the problem is with the defund the police movement and all of that's going on, we have officers like this lady who I'm sure is a good person and wanted to do the right thing, but she just doesn't have it.
Yeah.
And that's politically incorrect or has been to say that. But
That's
look
why you're saying it, not us.
That's why I have to say this. But what is the condition of this individual who was like me in college? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Was going to an officer saying, I'm being threatened. And because she's scared and she doesn't help.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They're according to Road Warrior, they're required to help. So she had to, it's a requirement to,
Right.
That's what you sign up for when you do this. But
I mean, how do you not even get out and at least make your presence known by,
Because she's scared.
Yeah.
And part of that is, I hate to say it, there's a lot to it. Now, as a woman, if that were me right now, if that happened to me, and I'm not a cop, but if I had a firearm, I would defend that person because I would think they're killing that guy.
Right.
And I, as a civilian, would get out of my car.
At least got to tase him.
A lot of new commenters and stuff on the YouTube chat. So make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe button. The reason I'm making a big push today. I know that. I know I keep mentioning it, but it's because I don't want others stealing my thunder. That's why. So I just want to make sure.
Don't steal his thunder.
That's right. I'm getting a little protective of my crew here.
Yeah. By the way, Jan checks in on X and she says another reason why the woke Snow White will fail is Rachel Zegler is not that attractive, and that comes from a female. Jan checking in.
Yeah.
But isn't part of this? Did we say this? The Gal Gadot, who's Jewish, right?
Yeah.
Because there was a claim that Rachel had made anti-Semitic remarks.
Mm-hmm. She also posted
so they wouldn't work in the same studio because Gal was like, I'm not going to work in the... So...
She also posted in 2021 on X, F at real Donald Trump. So, she's not a Trump supporter. We know that. It's interesting. A lady saying she's... Does she not, Dawn, I'll defer to you here. I mean, I have potential replacements in mind. Is Rachel Zegler not the right look for Snow White? Is she attractive?
I think she's pretty.
I mean, I think AOC's hot, but I don't think and I know they kind of look alike. I don't have the same instinctual reaction to Rachel Zegler as I do AOC. I don't know. You know who would make a good Snow White? Caroline Leavitt.
Oh.
Caroline Leavitt looks like Snow White in many ways.
Snow White has black hair, doesn't she?
I thought she was blonde. Wasn't she blonde in the original?
No.
No?
What is? She has black hair, dude.
I thought she had blonde.
Never seen the video?
Well, you know what? If we're gonna get rid of the dwarfs, then we can get rid of black-haired Snow Whites. Let's have a blonde Snow White. I auditioned Caroline Leavitt. I stand by that.
By the way, since we have all these new contributors to the YouTube chat and the YouTube videos, GregStockerSucks.com. Go there, donate to the families behind the Bad Children's Foundation. We are going to ride 65 miles from the Ben Franklin Bridge to the New Jersey Shore, Atlantic City, in the summer. All the money goes to support the families of slain police officers. Our goal is $15,000. We need to get on this, so please be generous. GregStockerSucks.com. Go there now.
I mixed up Cinderella and Snow White. Cinderella has blonde hair. So there.
Okay. TikTok instead of legislating.
Hey.
So these Democrat reps from the Colorado House were voting on a bill. And while a speaker was talking, guess what they were doing, guys? This is amazing that somebody did this. Somebody took an overhead video of them. They're all playing on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't us because we don't live in Colorado, but for the people who live in Colorado, this is your tax dollars.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting here on TikTok instead of doing their jobs that they're only in 3 days a week for anyway.
Yeah.
Roll this. You can see they're all on their phones. That guy's eating.
He's eating a mashed potato bowl.
Let's see what she's seeing. She's
Checking
scrolling.
checking her feed.
Scrolling.
Holding a pencil.
Look at those nice leather. That's like a
Yeah.
movie theater
Yes.
reclining
Nice little
leather
Barca lounger. Yeah.
They are all. Look at this. This
Guy's got
bro's
his-
scrolling.
This guy's got his tie.
Looking
in his
at other
crotch.
bros.
I was just gonna say, what's he doing, Ed?
It's like a male dating site.
Is he on Grindr?
Yeah.
Yeah, this chick's charging all her electronics.
You can see them with their thumb. They're all scrolling.
Every single one
I
of
hope
them.
they all end up with carpal tunnel.
But this is what I mean. This is what I mean about, like, they're not. What are they doing?
Nothing. Doing nothing. Wasting
If
our
this
time
was-
and our tax dollars.
If this was a meeting that I was holding and I saw,
Holy crap!
I saw my people scrolling on, I would throw their phones, and then I would get in trouble and fired. But you know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous.
Well, Mark Wayne Mullen from Oklahoma said, I have seen my fellow colleagues, DNR, male and female, come back late at night, drunk, and voting on legislation.
Yep.
So I guess the question is, what's worse? Are tax dollars going towards liquored up congressmen and congresswomen that are voting yay or nay on something that's impactful to our society, or are these schlubs sitting there with their thumbs?
Yep.
Mm.
L.A., Los Angeles has a new district attorney by the name of Nate Hochman. He ended the death penalty ban. I don't know if you guys saw this. Los Angeles moving in a more conservative direction, maybe.
Here comes the California red wave.
I didn't say that. Roll this.
We were to have a Sandy Hook type of situation, and over 20 school kids got murdered by a vicious murderer, or we had a Las Vegas situation and over 50 people were to be gunned down by a sniper. In those situations, the death penalty would be back on the table for consideration.
Hochman says prosecutors may call for the death penalty in special circumstance murder cases and says it will only be pursued after an extensive and comprehensive review. Under the prior DA, George Gascon, seeking the death penalty was off the table. Keep in mind, the last execution in the state of California was back in 2006, and since 2019, Governor Newsom has had a moratorium on executions. Newsom saying it's immoral and costly to taxpayers.
So I'm assuming he's still a Democrat, right? He's not a Republican.
course.
But, there is this poll out there, I'll believe it when I see it, that 48% of registered Democrats are open to voting Republican in the 2026 California governor's race. So we'll see. Again, I don't think California is going to go red, but it's got more of a history of going red than Philadelphia and New York in recent years, so we'll see. I love that, by the way. I mean,
special circumstances, though, I don't know if I love that. Like, look,
what do you mean by that?
Look, if there's another Sandy Hook, absolutely. If there's somebody who's, but like, how about for child rapists? Yes.
Yes.
How about for those gang members that beat the crap out of that guy? Yes.
Yes.
Like, seriously.
Well,
only for special circumstances? No.
But you love the firing squad.
Oh, I love the firing squad.
Yeah.
I think we should put more people to death, honestly.
The South Carolina Stalker Firing Squad.
Is it more expensive, Dawn, to put somebody to death and to house them in a jail for their entire lives?
It is.
Really?
It's the average, and this is the average, generally speaking, because they get so many appeals. You have to house them, special, all this stuff. So the average is $1 million per. It's, believe it or not, it's cheaper to just lock somebody up for life.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Because they get more rights and more privileges, and the appeals process just goes on forever and ever. And so some people argue you're further, hurting the family. But that was why, like with, Marissa Fitzgerald just yesterday, the family was we should have asked her that, but, the family was very upset of Sergeant Christopher Fitzgerald murdered, gunned down at close range.
Yep.
And that defendant, after 2 years, is still, facing trial.
Mm-hmm.
But the family, remember this? We talked about it. The Fitzgerald family was very upset locally that they took the DA Krasner. They took the death penalty. They said they're taking that off the table.
It's outrageous.
It really is. And by the way, I'll do it for $10,000. just invite me to your state, fly me out there, pay me a stipend. I'll kill all of them. I don't care. No problem.
And so
no problem.
The year 2020 was a bad year, to your point,
You think?
because it was George Gascon who in 2020, his predecessor, who took the death penalty off the table. And so this DA is just saying it's an option for juries, judges, etc.
Yeah.
Leave it on the table. You can refute it in
Mhm.
each case-by-case scenario, but at least have it there.
Yeah. We just got another donation. Speaking of Marissa Fitzgerald, Paul has donated $25.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Our goal is $15,000, and we are now at $420.
Come on.
And we just got this bad boy started yesterday.
We just got this bad boy started yesterday, but let's get it up to 1,000. Can
Yeah.
we? Can somebody can everybody right now go to GregSoccerSucks.com? Let's do $1,000. After seeing that and hearing that story about what Dawn just said, all the money goes to families like Marissa Fitzgerald. All the money goes there here locally,
And her young children.
and her children. Yes.
Richard says on X that the L.A. County DA is a Republican.
Oh, is he?
That's what Richard
Oh,
on X
interesting,
says. So if
interesting.
Dick on X says it must
Yeah.
be true.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get some clarification on that. Let me go to wrap up the hour. Wild Bill is in West Grove. Wild Billy, what's up, pal?
Oh, man, that's a great introduction. I got to tell you, we can all Monday morning quarterback on that police officer, and it's a shame she probably froze up. But if she was outfitted with at least, mace, rubber bullets, or, beanbag bullets, and then go to taser and then finding lethal. But, it's easy to quarterback it, but, just hope she makes out for the best. But she probably froze up really bad. And that's why you have to have good combat training.
Yep.
Amen.
You're absolutely
Hey,
right.
can I, guys, you guys are great. Can I comment on one thing? Christy Nome, she's not only hot, but she's on fire.
Yeah, I agree. Gorgeous.
You guys have a great day. Thanks,
You too.
Wild Bill.
There he is.
Thanks, Wild Bill.
Wild Bill Hickok from West Grove checking in.
I think what's gorgeous about Chrissy Nome is that she is as strong and committed as she is fit and good looking. And I think that's when he's saying she's hot, and on fire, that I just hear men and women. This is not, you know what I mean? That she's somebody who, yes, she's incredibly fit. We've seen her work out with her husband, her kids, and the dance video and all that stuff. But she's just so on point right now. And I think that's just fabulous to see.
It's what those MS-13 members were saying. We were like, ay, caramba.
We really have to break.
Kayal and Company. I'll settle down, and we'll be back after this. Stay right there.
Welcome to Staples. I hear Staples prints it all for any business. You bet, and we'll beat any print quote. So if I had a pizza place... Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes. A landscaping business? Oh, we can print yard signs, T-shirts, brochures. How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mow. I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Are you a small business owner who needs immediate cash flow? At Swish Funding, we have flexible funding options from $25,000 to $2 million. For the best rates and terms for your business, just one application to Swish Funding gives you access to our entire network of funders, with cash in your account in as little as 24 hours. To qualify, you must be in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000. Apply at swishradio.com and use code RADIO. Swishradio.com, code RADIO.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Looking for a natural way to boost energy, support your heart, stay active as you age? It's time to try Rescue Orosine. This unique supplement gives your body the essentials it needs to fight fatigue, improve stamina, without relying on sugar, caffeine, or artificial boosters. Plus, it supports healthy blood pressure and overall cardiovascular function, helping you feel your best every day. Right now, my listeners can take advantage of a special buy one, get one free offer on Rescue Orosine. Just use the code MyEnergy when you order. Call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. You speak with a knowledgeable product consultant or visit res-q.com and enter that code MyEnergy at checkout. Don't miss out. This exclusive deal will not last long. Go to res-q.com and use that code MyEnergy, MYENERGY, to grab Rescue Orosine with that buy one, get one free saving. Stay energized, stay heart healthy with Rescue Natural Supplements.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text JUDGE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 321-321. That's JUDGE to 321-321.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Important Medicare news. Doge chief Elon Musk says all government spending is up for review, and the House plans to cut $800 million in health care costs. These cuts could hit Medicare and Medicaid. Now, Rob Finnerty is on Newsmax tonight, revealing the real Medicare crisis. Over 65 million people depend on Medicare, and Rob Finnerty says hardworking Americans that paid for it should get their full Medicare coverage. This week in his series Medicare in Crisis, Rob Finnerty looks at Medicare and why it faces bankruptcy. Big changes are ahead for Medicare. You need to watch Rob Finnerty tonight. Find Newsmax on all major cable systems or download the free Newsmax app on your phone now. Millions are switching to Newsmax because we're fighting for you.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Keswick Theater welcomes The Rascals on April 18th, Almost Queen on May 10th, and Harry Chapin's Greatest Stories live on May 17th. Tickets are on sale at keswicktheater.com. That's keswicktheater.com. Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
See Joe Conklin's comedy show at the Keswick Theater on April 5th. Proceeds help Abington Fire Companies replenish the gear loss in the fire at SPS. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
JoeConklin.com! Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Are you looking for an easy way to get a daily detox? Active Liver is available in both a delicious gummy or tablet. Find them at CVS, Amazon, or NewNordicUSA.com.
Got to talk about My Lawn Care Company as we warm up with spring. Nearly 80 degrees, or no, it could be 83 degrees, by the way, for your forecast this Saturday. And that really makes me think of my lawn care service. I'm so glad years ago we chose Natural Lawn of America after doing all of our homework and our due diligence. But we thought it just made sense to hire a company that gives better results and is safer for our family, for our pets, for the kids. That's why we chose Natural Lawn of America. At Natural Lawn, here's what they believe in: growing greener, healthier lawns without all the harsh chemicals. They use environmentally friendly products to keep your lawn lush and green while protecting the safety of your family and your pets. Yes, from the organic fertilizers to the safer weed and insect controls, Natural Lawn of America makes sure your lawn thrives naturally, season after season. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can join the growing number of homeowners who are switching to Natural Lawn's safer services and enjoying a beautiful, eco-friendly lawn that you can be proud of. Just schedule Natural Lawn's full-service program. Get free seeding every year, 800 free seed, 800 free seed. Your lawn deserves the best. Call the best. Choose my lawn care company, Natural Lawn of America. Greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed. 800 free seed. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Kayal and Company, 9 o'clock hour underway. It's brought to you by Anderson Mechanical Corporation. Veteran-owned Anderson Mechanical Corporation is growing rapidly, and they have career opportunities available. If working for a company built on integrity, discipline, and work ethic is important to you, well, then call them today. Veterans highly encouraged to apply. Visit amcontheweb.com, 855-839-1210. A big shout out to Charles Blatz, who just donated 100 big ones.
Thanks, Charles.
Nice work, Charles. We appreciate that. You can keep them coming. GregStalkerSucks.com. All goes to the Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation.
Your big take this morning was on NPR. We spent a lot of time in the 6 o'clock hour with it. But for those late risers, let's get to some clips we didn't play. Let's start with this is 8, Phil, the opening statements from the PBS president and CEO, Paula Kerger. She was at the DOJ subcommittee hearing on funding for public broadcasting. Let's just play a little bit of this, Phil.
For her opening statement.
Chair Taylor Greene, Congressman Lynch, and members of the subcommittee, my name is Paula Kerger, and I'm the president and CEO of PBS, a role that I've held for 19 years. It is my honor to be here on behalf of the 336 PBS stations who serve every community in the United States. There's nothing more American than PBS. As a membership organization, our local service is at the heart of our work. Our job at PBS is to support our stations so that local stations can serve their communities. We've been proudly fulfilling our mission for nearly 60 years, using the public airwaves and other technologies to help educate, engage, and inspire the American people. That mission is our guide star and remains just as important today as when the Public Broadcasting Act was signed into law in 1967. PBS stations provide something that cannot be found on commercial networks. This is because PBS stations are focused on the needs and interests of the viewers they serve. Especially in rural areas, PBS stations are the only outlet providing coverage of local events.
For
example,
God's
high
sake.
school sports, local history and culture content, candidate debates at every level of the election ballot, and specialized agricultural news.
There you go.
You know, when I was living up in the Lehigh Valley, if I wanted high school sports, I would put on Service Electric or RCN or WFMZ, which are not funded by my tax dollars. Now, I did not know that there are 336 PBS stations nationwide. So that just really gave me a nice little shot of adrenaline, knowing that our tax dollars are going to 336 stations. And this is not new. We've known for a long time. It's out there that this is, but this is actually, I would argue, probably more outrageous than the things we did not know about behind the scenes that Doge has unearthed. A couple from a few days ago, studying the menstrual cycles of men. DEI in pest control. Really? We need DEI to kill a roach? Really? Is that what we need? And I'm really shocked. And I gave you these stats in the Big Take. Pew Research Center. Granted, it's just one poll. But more Americans than not are okay with this continuing. Believe it or not, Greg Stocker, you are in the minority on your passionate viewpoint. And I don't understand how Americans
why?
Can be on board with this.
I know why. You want to know why? Cut 12 here. Because of arguments like this. This is exactly what they do to tug at the heartstrings of moms and everybody out there. Roll this.
The American people want to know.
Elmo.
Is Elmo now,
Yep.
or has he ever been, a member of the Communist Party of the United States?
Yep.
Yes or no?
That's exactly what they do.
Are you sure, Ms. Kruger? Because he's obviously red.
Well, he is a puppet, but no.
Now, that's not all. He also has a very dangerous message about sharing and helping each other. He's indoctrinating our kids that sharing is caring. Now, maybe he's part of a major socialist plot, and maybe that's why the chairwoman is having this hearing today. But let's talk about somebody else. Let's talk about Cookie Monster. Now, we know that Health Secretary RFK Jr. is coming out.
This is why.
Against fast food. And
this is why. This is exactly why. Because
this little production.
When people hear of PBS, they think of Sesame Street. And they're like, well, my kids grew up on Sesame Street. Your kid should grow up on Sesame Street. You know what I mean? That is the one misnomer that everybody, when they don't think of the, nobody thinks about like WHYY and the radio stations. They're thinking about the television stations
Tugging your heartstrings,
that play
kids programming,
yes,
like
that play,
Mr. Rogers.
Yes, that play all the kids programming, and they're like, well, yeah, no, it's good, wholesome entertainment, which, by the way, it is. And by the way, if Sesame Street went public, you know how much money they would make?
They'd probably actually make more.
Well, in 2019, just, the Sesame Street workshop,
Yep.
It has, first of all, they make a ton of money off of 500 licensing agreements. Total revenue, and this was the latest revenue I can find by 2019, $35 million. But I believe it's much greater than that because that obviously was a that was obviously from 2018, 2019.
That's exactly it. And by the way, all you need to do is go to Sesame Place out there in Langhorne. I had to give out my bank account just to get,
Excuse me, updated $271 million in revenue. $271 million in revenue.
That's
just Sesame Street.
That's what I'm saying. Is that this doesn't need to be free. It doesn't.
No.
So Elmo's red. So
Elmo's red.
He's a Republican.
Elmo's a commie.
Cookie Monster's blue, right?
Yeah, he's a Democrat.
He's a lib. By the way, nice work by Schaaf. I believe the real name is Gary Schaefer. He just donated $150.
Oh, Gary Schaaf. Come on, man. Thank
so
you
as
very
long
much.
as you keep them coming, I get emailed right away. I'm notified the moment you either sign up or donate or both, and we will publicly give you a shout out.
The problem with this NPR debate is that yes, we all agree because we know the downsides of this in the radio market and quite frankly in the TV market too, because the TV market doesn't have to compete like CBS 3 and NBC 10 and all that does. So we see that business side of it, but people who aren't really familiar with this see Sesame Street and that Playhouse and Mr. Rogers and all that stuff, and that's what they view as PBS.
Yeah. I grew up on Mr. Rogers and some of these other shows. Used to love when Trolley would come around.
He was a little creepy. I know he was a minister.
The sweater
was. He was a little. I never liked Mr. Rogers. He always gave off that creepy vibe to me. I was like, ooh.
But he said one thing accurately: if you're born a boy, you're born a boy, and you're a boy for life. That doesn't jive well with the left these days.
NPR CEO Catherine Marr was caught off guard after Representative Brandon Gill started reading her past tweets one by one for this. You played this on the Big Take?
No, but I referenced the quotes.
Roll this, Phil. This is, I'm sorry, this is cut 9. Cut 9. There you go.
It's interesting because a lot of your thinking, as expressed by your public statements, is deeply infused with economic and cultural Marxism. Do you believe that America is addicted to white supremacy?
I believe that I tweeted that, and as I've said earlier, I believe much of my thinking has evolved over the last half decade.
It has evolved. Why did you tweet that?
By the way, she looks
I don't recall the exact context, sir, so I wouldn't be able to say.
She looks like a goer, by the way.
Do you believe that America believes in black plunder and white democracy?
I don't believe that, sir.
You tweeted that in reference to a book you were reading at the time, apparently, The Case for Reparations.
I don't think I've ever read that book, sir.
No, you're
tweeted
just
about
virtue
it.
signaling.
You said you took a day off to fully read The Case for Reparations. You put that on Twitter in January of 2020.
Burn a person today.
Apologies, I don't recall that I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd no doubt that your tweet there is correct, but I don't recall.
Okay.
But I was lying.
Do you believe that white people inherently feel superior to other races?
I do not.
You don't? You tweeted something to that effect. You said, I grew up feeling superior. Ha, how white of me. Why did you tweet that?
I think I was probably reflecting on what it was to grow up in an environment where I had lots of advantages.
It sounds like you're saying that white people feel superior.
I don't believe that anybody feels that way, sir. I was just reflecting on my own experience.
Did you donate
Do you think
to
that white
BLM?
people should pay reparations?
I've never said that, sir.
Yes, you did. Said it in January of 2020. You tweeted, yes, the North, yes, all of us, yes, America, yes, our original collective sin and unpaid debt, yes, reparations, yes, on this day.
The problem is, by the way, she can have whatever points of view she wants to. She can tweet whatever she wants to. Just don't back away from it. Say, yeah, I believe all that.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect the way I whatever NPR. You know what I mean? Like it's such a simple response.
yeah.
But she's not that bright,
Well,
obviously.
And speaking of not bright, Crockett was on her horse yesterday because she had her chance to question Maher, and she's like, well, you were not a employee of NPR at the time. Well, she is now, so you know that what her political agenda is and what her political slant is.
Speaking of Jasmine Crockett, we have a longer cut than what you played in the Big Take, Nick. This is Jasmine Crockett having a profane meltdown. This is
Hopefully we bleep this out.
Cut 11. We did. Roll it.
Americans in rural communities would lack access to life-saving information and public safety alerts.
That is correct.
So in your opinion, would eliminating funding for stations in rural America like WNGH, Channel 18, and the Chairwoman's District hurt Americans?
It would hurt Americans, yes.
In fact, Georgia Public Broadcasting serves as the official distributor of evacuation route information during state-ordered evacuations, and the chairwoman is here advocating to strip their funding. Look, the DOGE agenda isn't about government efficiency. It's about breeding corruption at the expense of the safety of the American people, particularly Americans living in rural or remote parts of the country. They don't care about public safety. They don't care about emergency management, and they don't care about free speech, all of which are harming American people. In fact, I'm going to skip off real quick.
Here she goes. She's changing.
They have tried to come for you, Ms.
Code
Mayor,
switch.
and I
Here it
just want to
comes.
clarify. You did not work for NPR when those statements were made, did you?
That is correct, Madam
And to
Chair.
be clear, free speech is not about whatever it is that y'all want somebody to say.
Y'all.
And the idea that you want to shut down everybody that is not Fox News is... We need to stop playing, because that's what y'all are doing in here. You don't want to hear the opinions of anybody else, and the Constitution says Congress shall make no law respecting or establishing of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the
The gentlewoman's time has expired.
That's another reason, by the way, because when you go down this path that they went down, this committee went down, where it's like, well, you have these left-wing views, you have these left-wing views. Who cares about their left-wing views?
That's right.
They need to go down the path of, you can say whatever you want to. You can do whatever you want to. You can report on whatever you want to. The taxpayers just shouldn't fund it.
I just don't want to pay for it.
Yes, that's it. When you go down this, then Jasmine Crockett looks like she's saying, yes, you want to silence anybody that's Fox News. People can make that argument.
Well, maybe,
why do it?
So which Republicans have framed this improperly? I felt like Tim Burchett, which is why I played him in the Big Take from Tennessee. He nails it because he says if Fox News or Newsmax or OAN or America's Voice was publicly funded, the Democrats would throw a hissy fit.
Well, here's 13. Comer. Comer has no idea what he's talking about here. He's talking about editorial standards, and he's literally referencing standards for editorials. Okay. You know what I mean? Like he has no idea. He has all these whiteboards with
the headlines
and biased things that NPR has said. Everybody knows that,
right?
But he doesn't know what he's talking about, and he kind of gets called out here. Roll this.
Do you want to dispute anything that I said in the remaining 30 seconds?
Thank you, Congressman. First of all, I want to recognize your concerns. One of the first things that I did in coming in May was to beef up our editorial standards. I directed my editor-in-chief, who, by the way,
why is NPR even doing editorials?
I'm
Should
so
NPR
sorry.
Even do editorials?
I don't mean editorial in terms of opinion editorial.
Do you even need opinion? What does it matter with the opinion? If you're a federally funded entity that's supposed to provide the news, can you not provide the news?
Of course,
fair and balanced?
Of course, Congressman. I mean editorial standards for our journalism was to beef up our editorial practices, bringing in more editors to make sure that we have more points of view reflected in every story. I've engaged in a number of actions trying to address
and my
some of
time's
these
expired.
concerns.
I've lost confidence in public radio. I don't think, Madam Chair, they should get a penny of federal funds. I yield back.
Thank you, Mr.
Honest question. Just thinking back to when James Comer was handling the Biden crime family. Is James Comer the best the Republican Party has? With all due respect to Mr. Comer, the best we got?
That's the problem when you go down this. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and you go down these angles, and it's just like there's a very simple case to be made for here, and they didn't make it.
Yeah, they got the. It's more about. It's not even more about. It should be entirely about the concept of the business model, not the content or the editorials. Yep. You spend all that time going to Hobby Lobby and buying poster boards and creating your little cardboard cutouts, and you got the whole gist of the message wrong.
Yep.
Gosh. Well, it was a long hearing, so I think what emerged in the hearing is, budgets, how many tax dollars go for this and support this. Mm-hmm. And also when she made the statement that they have the 336 stations, that they serve especially rural areas, who I guess if you're in a rural area, I guess you don't have access to things like, the internet so that you can get, sports, local sports and weather and agriculture news. And so the problem with everything that they testified to is that what they're pointing out essentially through their testimonies, this is highly antiquated because, of course, wherever you are in the world, you can absolutely get all of this information and you don't need to fund this. And by the way, when she says she had to hire more editorial gatekeepers or whatever, these people, I can tell you on the television side, they make very good money.
Yep. That we're paying for.
That we pay for.
All right, we have to break. God almighty. Dawn has some breaking news about somebody that was just captured on the other side.
Beautiful. Big Three's coming up. Stay tuned. Kayal and Company, that news on the other side. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
This is Larry Steinhaus, and did you know that I buy houses in any condition? That's right, I buy hoarder houses, I buy trashed houses, I buy burnt-out houses, or even houses with bad tenants. If you are a tired landlord, or you inherited a property, or you just have a property you don't want, give me a call at 855-939-1137, and I will personally answer the phone and make you a full-price offer. That's 855-939-1137. Don't suffer with that property anymore.
It's Jack Daniels Madness during the month of March at your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirit stores with Jack and Coke and Jack and Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Ready to drink in a can and $1 off 4-packs. Celebrate St. Patrick's Day with 1.7 liters of Jack Daniels Original, Jack Fire, and Jack Honey, all for $3 off. And step up your game with Gentleman Jack 750 milliliters for $2 off. Celebrate responsibly.
Whiskey Specialty, 7% ABV. Jack Daniel Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and Old Number 7 are registered trademarks from Jack Daniels Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Hey, it's Rich. It's Zioli. We have so much to be happy about, right? So much to smile about. So how's your smile? Well, if it needs any work, it's time to make that appointment to see my friend and my dentist, Dr. Mike Veneria at Veneria Dental. Yes, he's my family's dentist, and we've been going to him for years. And so have so many people in our area for decades. And for over 10 years, Dr. Mike has been recognized among his peers as a master of dental implants. That's right. Listen, having great, strong, healthy teeth doesn't just help you look and feel good, it's essential to your health. I mean, you gotta eat food, right? So listen, make your appointment with Dr. Mike Veneria today. 2 locations to serve you right over the bridge in Cinnaminson and Woodbury, and trust me, he's worth the trip. When it comes to complicated dental work, you don't want to go to the closest dentist. You want to go to the best, and Dr. Mike is the best, recognized among his peers for over 10 years as the best. So make your appointment today at VeneriaDental.com, V-A-N-A-R-I-A, Dr. Mike Veneria, VeneriaDental.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
Make magic happen with Kitchen Magic. Family-owned Kitchen Magic has been making dream kitchens come to life for over 45 years and 60,000 homeowners. Kitchen Magic's experts will guide you every step of the way, from free in-home design consultation to top-notch installation. Whether refacing, new cabinetry, or complete makeover, your kitchen transformation is covered with quality American-made products. Your new kitchen will be as functional and enduring as it is beautiful. Right now, enjoy an amazing 40% off installation. Visit kitchenmagic.com.
Get ready to hit it out of the park every time you fire up the grill this spring with Hatfield. Swing into action with Hatfield's variety of marinated pork, ground pork and sausage, ham, bacon, and your favorite Hatfield Phillies Franks. With over 24 distinct flavors that can be ready in minutes, Hatfield pork is food you'll feel good about serving. From home or at the ballpark, find your flavor with Hatfield, the official pork provider of the Phillies. Visit simplyhatfield.com for recipes and put pork on your pork.
Hi, this is Merrill Reese. My wife Cindy and I had a new roof installed by Impriano Roofing, Siding, and Windows, and we're delighted. When it comes to your roof, it's like football. Good planning is essential. Jack Impriano and his 4 sons are a true family business, serving our area for over 5 decades. If you need a new roof, call Jack Impriano Roofing. Online at Impriano.com. That's Impriano.com. It's good to hire Jack and his team. Remember, the best homes have an Impriano roof.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business, with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
I'm Jalen Hurst here for Window Nation. If you're a fan of saving money, listen up.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 free with no payments and no interest for 24 months. Now through March 31st at Window Nation. Schedule a free consult at 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com and tell them you heard about it on 1210 WPHT.
Don't pay more than you have to for new windows. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com.
Drive in with Kayal and Company mornings 6 till 10. Drive home with Rich Zioli afternoons 3 till 7. Live and local on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
I'm 27, Kayal and Company, live on a Thursday morning, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. The last name could be Doherty, it could be Doherty, but the first name is definitely Joanne. Joanne, thank you very much. $100 donation made to Families Behind the Badge.
How close are we to our $1,000 goal by the end of the day?
We are $230 away.
All right. Can somebody donate right now $230 so we can hit $1,000 by the end of the day? Thank you.
5.13% towards the $15,000 goal.
GregStockerSucks.com. All the money goes to the Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation and families like Marissa Fitzgerald and her children who were in here yesterday, whose husband Christopher was slain in the line of duty. All the money goes to them. It's a local organization, by the way, local organization. It helps first responders, police officers in this area. Thank you.
Big news to get to. I think a lot of you will like it. Let's get down to business. Time for a Dawn Stensland breaking news. Big 3 at 9:28.
It's the Big 3 and 9 on Kayal and Company.
Sponsored by Kitchen Magic, a top MS-13 gang member labeled the worst of the worst is under arrest. A huge victory for the Trump administration, for America. This announcement, breaking news this morning. And he's one of the top in the top tier of these MS-13 gang leaders on the East Coast. That, according to authorities, as they say, this man here illegally in this country, MS-13 leader under arrest. So this was a major operation in Virginia, went down this morning. They nabbed this guy, as well as, they say, hundreds of other criminals in the past month alone. AG Pam Bondi speaking out, saying, this is what happens when you let good cops be good cops.
Boom.
That from Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, speaking out about this 24-year-old illegal from El Salvador.
We have Kash Patel, if you want to roll this, Phil.
This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. And we're going to continue to let good cops be cops across this country. President Trump gave us the executive decision to go after and safeguard our communities. General Bondi is our warrior of justice leading that charge. Governor Youngkin, it's an honor to be a partner in this operation with you and U.S. Attorney Siebert. This is the mandate we have. Right now we have an American dying every 7 minutes from a drug overdose. That is a national security crisis we have not seen ever before. We have a woman or child being raped every 6.5 minutes in this country. We have a homicide twice an hour. No part of that metric is a safe and secure America. But thanks to the brave leadership of this administration and the folks that you see here, we are returning our communities to safety. As you heard, we took down this morning a top leader of MS-13. That is not done easily. That is done with brilliant law enforcement.
That's great.
Nice work out of Kash and Pam. And unfortunately for this MS-13 member, he's going to be disappointed. Kristi Noem's already gone.
So this, we don't have all the information about the joint operation. FBI, ICE, ATF, Virginia State Police, as well as the Prince William County Police Department. So local, state, federal, all working together this morning and then releasing that information.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, like MS-13 is like the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
As far as gangs
Violent.
go. Yeah, violent.
Brutal.
Like, they're basically on the same level as like cartels. You know, women, children, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like they're you know, with the old school mafia stuff like that, they never used to go after women or children. They just settled the scores with the people they had scores with. This new breed doesn't care.
Yeah. How long until an activist judge tries to prevent the deportation of this individual?
A great question. It's a great question. What federal hideous judge is going to block this?
We do have some sad news. This is a search and recovery efforts underway for 4 United States Army soldiers. They were reported missing during a scheduled training exercise near Paybrod, Lithuania. And this is the U.S. Army releasing this information. They were all based, by the way, in Fort Stewart, Georgia, reported missing within the past less than 48 hours. And so they were in an M88 Hercules armored recovery vehicle. They were operating that. It has now been found submerged in water.
Oh, boy.
So I don't, that's just being reported. But obviously when we say search and recovery, you know what that means. This is not a search and rescue.
Are you guys surprised? Cut 29, Phil. Are you guys surprised that when a reporter asked Trump this yesterday, he had no idea what the reporter was asking about?
Let me hear it.
Have you been briefed about the soldiers in Lithuania who are missing?
No, I haven't.
Have you
spoken, sir, with the Big 3?
That's literally all he said on it.
No.
Are you surprised that he wasn't briefed on this?
I don't. The more I study this stuff, I don't know. Even a
I mean, that's a pretty big deal, Nick.
mentally alert president. I don't know that they're necessarily briefed or up to speed on everything. I'm not saying I'm not making an excuse for it.
It's a pretty big deal.
Okay.
Like, these are American soldiers, right?
Yeah.
That we put in these places, right?
Somebody should have told them on the Signal app.
Just saying. I don't know. Seems to be a little lack of communication there. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I totally see that.
Well,
I mean, I criticize this administration and the past administration for
they
for
seem to
using
brief
us-
him. They seem to brief him on everything that Jeffrey Goldberg does from The Atlantic. Yet he doesn't know about I'm not saying it's his fault, but somebody should have told him.
Yeah.
My question, my honest to God question is, the word from NATO further clarified that they had died. It sounds like they had died during the training exercise, and we don't have all of the confirmations. So my question is, what did Trump know something, and he just wanted to say, nope, haven't. Next question, because he didn't want to. What?
Isn't that worse?
I don't.
Isn't that worse?
I don't. If the families haven't yet been notified officially, I don't know.
Yeah, but he should have had a different answer then
Yeah.
by saying something like, there's more on that to come, or something like that. I don't know. I just feel like this is, it's his job to know all this stuff, and somebody's not briefing him properly.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah. Maybe another reason to downsize the government even more. Too many cooks in the kitchen as it is.
Yep.
Normally I have something fun to talk about, but I haven't been able to report this morning something that I wanted to get to at some point, and that's this mainline doctor, a woman who had, and we've reported on this, who admitted to terrorizing the family of her ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend. So she's going to spend less than a year in jail, 11 and a half months in jail. And in this one, 36-year-old Amy Cohen, she was upset that her boyfriend broke up with her. She was a doctor on the main line and has mental issues and admitted that in court. She's going under treatment. But in this case, remember this? It was November of 2023 that she had set fire to the Lower Merion home of the new girlfriend's 99-year-old grandma at 1:30 in the morning. And thank God, grandma, the 99-year-old grandma, got out and escaped because her smoke detectors were working. But grandma could have died.
Yeah.
And there was more. There was harassment and stalking and the whole thing. And so her medical license, she worked out of Bryn Mawr Hospital, infectious diseases doctor.
Okay.
But just kind of a bizarre case and a bizarre twist. There were some people who were surprised that, setting fire to a 99-year-old grandma's home because it's the ex-girlfriend's grandma, that would only deliver 11 and a half, less than a year in prison. But it's the mental health debate and that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was all about mental health.
Yeah. Should not be out in society, period.
So
jail, insane asylum. I'm good with either.
So that's the story about your the ex-girlfriend. Sorry, I wanted to get to like Will. We had all this breaking news.
Will
like
Smith.
There's Will Smith Way. In
To-
West Philly.
Tony Bruno reported that yesterday, by the way.
Yeah.
But Will Smith, this was before.
Yeah.
I mean, we did say it, but Will Smith was here.
Oh, well, then if he was here.
You know what I mean?
Did he,
so it was kind of cool.
Did he smack Chris Rock while he was here?
Was he filming Bad Boys 7?
I'm trying to say something good.
Well, here's something good and fun. You talked about 90-year-olds in fire. Geezer's Gone Wild is the headline. Outkick with a story. Fireball Whiskey will give anyone 90 and over. I don't know if we have any 90-year-olds in our audience. I know I've met a few veterans that have served this country.
We do. I know.
Okay.
I know a few, and God bless them.
So this would apply to you if you are listening and you like whiskey that's flavored like Big Red chewing gum, which is disgusting. You will get free Fireball whiskey for the rest of your life, whether it's 1 day or 10 more years or 20. Either way, you've outlived me by 30 years already. Free Fireball whiskey.
Woo!
Yeah.
So all the 90-year-olds in the audience, and you know who you are, get out there and get some Fireball whiskey.
Go to your
right
local
now.
PA Wine and
Right
Spirit store. Show your ID.
Stop what you're doing.
If it's a Democrat at the cashier, they won't even ask you for ID. Free Fireball whiskey. The worst thing you could possibly drink. I think it's awful, but hey, at 95, what the hell?
By the way, somebody on the YouTube chat is reporting that the Flyers have fired their head coach.
Torts.
Tort's gone.
Torts
gone.
I took intro to Torts one day. Literally, one day, and then I quit. But yeah, Tortorella, he's out.
All right, we have to break.
You're fired.
You're fired.
For those that care about hockey.
Let's talk about, real quick, get some magic. Make the magic happen with Kitchen Magic, our sponsor of our Big Three. Their experts are going to guide you every step of the way. Free in-home design consultation. Top-notch installation. Right now, get 40% off installation, 40% off the cost of installation. What are you waiting for? KitchenMagic.com. KitchenMagic.com.
All right, Dawn, thank you very much. Up next, as we wrap up, a ban that somebody says is a bipartisan win. Kayal and Company, stay right there.
Hey, the extensive selection at Mercedes-Benz of Westchester, Wilmington, and Atlantic City, combining the luxury with performance across the full line of sedans, SUVs, coupes, roadsters, and more. From the powerful engine of the 2025 C-Class sedan to the impressive towing capacity of the 2025 GLE SUV, you're going to find a luxury vehicle that meets your needs. Schedule a test drive behind the wheel of your dream Mercedes-Benz, or just shop Mercedes-Benz of Westchester, Wilmington, and Atlantic City. PiazzaPremiumAutos.com, PIAZZA, PiazzaPremiumAutos.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Spring into savings at Bucks County Estate Traders. It's our Buy More, Save More event. 15% off every item. And when you buy 3 or more, get 25% off one item. Conditions apply. From timeless antiques to designer furniture, rugs, art, and more, refresh your space and save big. Don't miss our spring cleaning promotion. Out with the old, in with the extraordinary. Visit Bucks County Estate Traders in-store or online at buckscountyestatetraders.com. Bucks County Estate Traders, where your next treasure is waiting.
Here's Bill Spadia with President Donald Trump.
Mr. President, as you fight through the corrupt media, the corrupt criminal justice system, face all kinds of battles, how important is it for you to know that we've got your back, no matter how your enemies are coming at you?
It's important, and you've had my back from the beginning. I know all about it. That's why I'm talking to you. I turned down plenty of requests, I will tell you. But you've had my back, and I really appreciate it.
We have a great leader in Washington. Now we need one in Trenton. As governor, Bill Spadia will dig in to fix our state. He'll take on and beat the Trenton politicians who have rigged the system for themselves. This is our chance to rebuild New Jersey for all of us. Republican Bill Spadia for governor. Patriots, it's time.
Paid for by Rebuilding New Jersey PAC, 9 Bethel Road, 1044, Somers Point, New Jersey, 08244. Not authorized or made with the cooperation or prior consent of, or in any consultation with, or at the request or suggestion of any candidate or any person or committee acting on behalf of any candidate.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is Rhea Hughes with your invitation to experience everything a Lexus makes you feel. From exhilarating performance to endless capability to inspiring electrification. Now through March 31st at the Invitation to Lexus sales event at Lexus of Cherry Hill. Now a 7-time J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence recipient for the customer sales experience. Visit LexusofCherryHill.com. Lexus of Cherry Hill. family owned and operated.
For J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence information, visit jdpower.com/US-DOE.
Hi, it's Dom Giordano. It's said you just don't visit Sicily. You fall head over heels in love with this ancient crossroads of civilization. The Greeks, the Romans, the Arabs, the Normans, the Spaniards, the Germans, they all left their cultural mark. I'd like you to join me for the sun, the sea, and the unparalleled beauty of Mediterranean Europe in Sicily and Calabria this fall. I'm heading to Europe again. I'm going with the best tour operator in Italy, Conservative Tours, 5544, including airfare. The dining events we enjoy in Italy are the stuff of legend. Bustling Palermo, the Quattro Conte, stunning Monreale, the Palace of the Normans. Call 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. We'll even enjoy the Godfather tour and visit the locales from the movie. The crown jewel of Sicily has to be Taormina. I'll see you on the Esplanade, Mount Etna, the Valley of the Temples. This is Sicily, ancient, charming, picturesque, and always a country within a country. I'll see you in Savoca.
Hey, this is Larry Steiners with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
Ever feel like there aren't enough hours in the day? If you get busy or miss your favorite show, don't worry. With Rewind, available exclusively on the free Odyssey app, you can stream your favorite shows on demand. You know your day is better with us. Get the news that matters to you from the local voices you trust. No matter what you're up to, give it a try. To get started, download the free Odyssey app and search for your station. That's AUDACY.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have someone else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement but don't have a plan customized to your goals, that's kind of like taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in your suitcase. Seems like a stressful way to start what should be a relaxing time. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to help reduce future taxes, along with a clearly defined income strategy. Call Jim at 610-894-7415 for your complimentary retirement game plan, or visit retirereadyfg.com. That's 610-894-7415.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
When the markets become too volatile, you need a proven system that protects what you have earned without sacrificing opportunity for growth.
Jim O'Neill, Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. I would recommend taking your money and put it into a crash-proof retirement system. This year, I have earned over 14%, and it can't be taken away.
Gail Schlosser, I'm getting great returns, up to 12 to 15%, and it's not going to dwindle away in the stock market.
Regina Kukulski, Langhorne. This year, I earned 10.5% interest. I feel really good looking at that because it's not money I lost.
Dolores Queen, Hatboro, Pennsylvania. We have outperformed the market this year, and when we earn 14%, it's ours to keep.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the Mendenhall Inn on April 22nd 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business?
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Free speech lives here with Kayal and Company weekday mornings on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
All right, Kayal and Company, 9:49 on a Thursday morning. I think all of us will like this story. Now, whether it comes to fruition is another story, and it will be a tall task to achieve. Multiple sources reporting that RFK Jr. does plan to, in fact, ban pharmaceutical ads on television. For many of us, we know that up until the mid-1980s, pharmaceutical companies gave information about their products only to doctors and pharmacies. But later that decade, some drug companies began giving the general public more direct access to the information, according to the FDA, leading to the advertising that we see on TV today. I did not know, and I figured it was a big amount, but I did not know this, that 75% of mainstream media television revenue comes from the pharmaceutical industry. I have always said, especially during the pandemic, you were never going to see Anderson Cooper criticize the COVID vaccine because immediately as he goes to break, CNN's playing an ad from Pfizer or Johnson & Johnson. Unheard.com, there's a great column if you want to read it. RFK Jr.'s drug ad ban is a bipartisan win. It's written by Ross Barkan. It's a great column talking about the history of RFK Jr., the history of these beautiful pharmaceutical ads where everybody's smiling and their joints don't hurt anymore, and they say it's going to work for 85% of you, but if you take it, you're going to have the possibility of 13 other things that are going to go off on you or reactivate old viruses in your body. Due to time constraints, we can't get into the column specifically, but check it out. I think most of us are in favor of it, and I've noticed it since I was a kid. I look at my mom, I'm like, how is this really happening?
There's going to be an avenue to free speech on this, though.
Well, there is, and that's why all these court cases have lost.
Yeah.
And that's why I probably give RFK a single-digit percentage chance of winning this, because precedent has shown that the courts say it infringes upon the First Amendment. 855-839-1210. All right, quickly, we've got more donations that are coming in. Big shout-out to, let's see here, we have Karen. A beautiful Karen, not the typical raging Karen, but Karen Morosky has donated $10.
Thank you, Karen.
That got us to $955. And then during the break, Gretchen Herney donated $250.
What? Gretchen.
That gives us $1,205.
Doesn't give us anything. Gives all the money goes to the families behind the Badge Children's Foundation. We're not NPR begging for money for ourselves. We're 1210 begging for money for great charities.
Yes, $1,205. That gives us 8% of our $15,000 goal in 2 days.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming. GregSoccerSucks.com.
All right, before we get to the music, let's get to the movies. Time for Jimmy Kelly's Morning Mystery Movie Clip.
And now, the Morning Mystery Movie Clip on Kayal and Company. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
You deliberately embarrassed me in front of a reporter. I told you how important this is to me. I told you. Why can't you give me the respect that I'm entitled to? Why can't you treat me the way I would be treated by any stranger on the street?
Because I am not one of your fans.
live
Think you know
live
what
audio
it is?
from Dawn Stenson's
Call
studio.
12 at 855-839-1210, and you could win this great prize.
Today, you have won a pair of tickets if you can identify that movie clip to see Riverdance on April 18th at the Miller Theater in Philadelphia. For more information and tickets, visit ensembleartphilly.com, ENSEMBLE, ensembleartphilly.com. Caller 12-855-839-1210. Without further ado, let's get to what occurred today in music history.
What happened on this day in music history? Music history on Kayal and Company.
Today, March 27th, we celebrate the birthdays of Tony Banks from Genesis, who's 75, Andrew Ferris from INXS, who's 66, and Johnny April from Stained, who's now 60. Sing Coot, It's Been a While by Stained in 2001, and Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap by AC/DC, also in 81. Album Coot, Bite Down Hard by Britney Fox in 91. Love at First Sting by the Scorpions, 84, led by hair metal. Out of the Cellar by Rat on the same day, speaking of hair metal. Blizzard of Oz by Ozzy in 81. Wildlife by Girls' School in 82. And 78 to 100 Degrees Fahrenheit by Bon Jovi in 85. Also in 2015, Willie Nelson announced that he and his family were hard at work on a new brand of marijuana. In 84, Brian Adams recorded Run to You. In 72, Elvis recorded Burning Love. In 2013, Justin Bieber ran into some trouble at the Munich airport when custom officials detained his pet monkey. Yes, I said that. In 65, Jeff Beck joined the Yardbirds. In 86, Sammy Hagar made his first appearance as Van Halen's lead singer. And in 72, Grand Funk Railroad fired their manager and producer, accusing him of taking more than his share of loyalties. But lastly, on this day in 86, Metallica joined Ozzy's Ultimate Sin Tour as the opening act. For Kayal and Company, I'm Phil Hopkins.
It's just unbelievable. Phil Almquist never disappoints with Today in Music History. Don't forget, catch This Week in Music History Saturday nights at 11 o'clock right here on 1210. All right, Amy in Norwood has identified the movie. Amy, what movie did we just play for you?
It is Mommy Dearest.
That is correct. Woo! Amy, congratulations. You've got the tickets, and your windows were down in your car. All right, Dawn is coming up in 5 minutes, and we find out what she has from her non-windy booth.
Non-windy, yes. We have, so here's the thing. Off the top, I want to get something off my chest about this whole situation going on, and we're going to talk about the Houthis and Sean Parnell center stage here, and we'll just wrap this whole nonsense up about the media, misinformation, disinformation, all of that. Blow the lid off that. In the 11 o'clock hour, make sure you join us at 11 because we have an investigative report, Doge. Your money, your dollars locally, how were they spent on a ridiculous type of prom? We've got that revelation. And then as well, we've got a military expert coming up at, 10:30, and the Trump team speaking out about that. There's so much breaking right now. We got it all covered. Stay right there. It's going to be good.
All right, Dawn coming up top of the hour. We've got we've got Sean Ferris tomorrow. Sean Ferris will join us from Tennessee. Ferris Friday at 7:45. All right, everybody have a great rest of your Thursday. Stay tuned for Dawn. She is up next. Enjoy the Phillies opener at 4 today, and we will see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
Good night.